hunting and fishing licenses, 5 custom hunting rifles, 5 custom hunting shotguns, and 25 weekend getaways to West Virginia state parks. If you need a full list of the winners, head over to WTRF.com. Brooke County Schools is holding their back-to-school fair this afternoon. Over the past few weeks, they've been collecting school supplies through their Stuff a Bus campaign. Those materials will be distributed to students at the fair. There will also be plenty of food and prizes for all to enjoy. The event takes place at Brooke High from 3 to 7:30. Listen to this. WVU President Gordon Gee is at West Banco Arena today. The Wheeling Rotary Club has announced him as a guest speaker. Organizers will also present a check to Reverend Darrell Cummings. The Rotary Club raised more than $11,000 for his Adopt a Student program. This marks their largest gift ever to the project. And ODOT is hosting a parking palooza in Woodsfield. They're giving drivers the opportunity to practice reverse angle parking. You can give it a try from now until 4 today at the Monroe Memorial Pool parking lot. Drivers will, of course, use their own car. Check this out. One longtime business in Wheeling is expanding to include a new location, which is great news for local artists and crafters. For over 2 decades, the Wheeling Artisan Center shop has provided an opportunity for artists to sell their products. During that time, they have operated out of their flagship store in downtown Wheeling. However, they recently opened the doors to a second location inside the Carriage Glass Museum at Ogilvie.
Yeah, well, there are so many visitors that come through Ogilvie, so it captures a different audience than we can downtown, and it'll be nice for the folks that are visiting Ogilvie to take a little piece of Wheeling home with them with all of the local products that we offer.
Both shops are operated by Wheeling Heritage. They have handcrafted items and glass. The Ogilvie location will be open from 10 to 5, 7 days a week. Tomorrow looks like the perfect night for motorcycle fans to head to Quaker Steak and Lube. In addition to being bike night, there will be a Dine to Donate event. All proceeds will go to benefit a Special Wish Ohio Valley chapter. The event also serves as a school supply drop-off. Everyone is asked to bring some type of school supply that'll be donated to a local school. And don't forget a 50-50 raffle and live music as well.
Yeah, bring your bike. We'll have a band out there. Billy the Kid from Pittsburgh. He's a blues band, so we figured we'd have a blues band to start off before the weekend down at the waterfront for the Blues Fest. So if you're out and about and you want to drop off some school supplies or come eat, some of the donations will go to a Special Wish.
There's even a bounce house for the kids. It all gets underway tomorrow night around 4. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, Zach is tracking the possibility for severe storms this afternoon and evening. He has the latest in his full forecast after the break.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
As the world gets back on track, now's the time to look forward and make bold, life-changing decisions. If you're ready to complete your college degree or pursue your master's like an MBA, Ohio Dominican University offers a range of innovative programs that match your goals. And with both fully online and on-campus evening formats available, pursuing your degree at ODU also fits your life. Classes are forming now. Get started at ohiodominican.edu. That's ohiodominican.edu.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Hello everyone, from the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Mix of sun and clouds with a scattered shower of thunderstorms possible, a daytime high of 87. Showers potential through the evening and the overnight, otherwise partly cloudy. Temperatures down to 74 for the low. A mix of sun and clouds for your Wednesday. Chance of a late day shower or storm. Highs near 87 degrees. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
And good afternoon. Bill DeFabio in your neighborhood. It's Tuesday, August 10th. This month is third gone. A lot of good things coming up today and later in the weekend, with the Blues Fest and everything. It's always an exciting and memorable time in the Ohio Valley. And I'm happy to be here from 12 to 3, and even after 3 sometimes. I was looking up Rocky Calavito, who was one of my favorite Italian ball players way back when. And even when I was 9 years old, I couldn't understand that the Cleveland Indians traded him. But he came back with the Cleveland Indians, all right? As a matter of fact, in downtown Cleveland, they have built a bust of Rocky Calavito. So if you're ever into Cleveland, there's a lot to do in Cleveland. Maybe the Browns are playing, maybe the Indians are playing, Cavaliers are playing, you're going to the Hall of Fame. Check out the Rocky Calavito bust, the statue. Take a picture and send it to me. We can do that. It's like being there. I'll get the picture and say, wow, look at that. I mean, some of these statues are unbelievable. You know, I've been in a lot of cities, and Pittsburgh has like 4 great players. And I always check out the Willie Stargell statue because right below his butt, there's a brick, 1979. How about that? Can I pick them or what? With the family's name. And when I was there not too long ago, they replaced a lot of the bricks because, when did I buy that brick? 2001? Wear and tear, dirt and everything. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So, okay. All right, Pirates are back in action tonight. Hey, they didn't lose yesterday because they didn't play, but they hosted the St. Louis Cardinals. Last 10 games, the Pirates are 3-7. They've been outscored by the opposition in those 10 games by 28 runs. That's pitiful. Their batting average in those 10 games, .229. Lola could at least hit 300. Right, Lola?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
At least you could bunt, I bet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't see that very often. I see it at the Wild Things every once in a while. And the Wild Things are no different than other teams. You either swing and a miss, you strike out, or you hit a home run. How many did I see Saturday? 7 home runs? I think DJ was there. Sunday, I watched the opposing team hit 4 solo home runs. Ooh. Due to a contract situation, I wouldn't worry, Steeler Nation. TJ Watt, one of the best players in the league defensively. He's not practicing with his teammates, but he is working out. He's doing stretching. He's doing classroom sessions. He wants to sign a long-term deal with most of the money guaranteed. I don't blame these players, who was the one linebacker that just signed $52 million guaranteed? Why not? On any given play. You could tear something. And if you don't have guaranteed money, you might be out of luck. Meanwhile, the Steelers, without TJ Watt practicing, he doesn't have to practice, practice. Meanwhile, the team continues to prepare for the preseason game Thursday night in Philadelphia against the Eagles. Of course, the big news in hockey, in sports, because he was well known from coast to coast with some great lines, clever phrases that you're going to hear throughout the show. His signature calls. 73-year-old Mike Lang has retired as the Penguins announcer. 46 years with the Penguins, 50 years in a broadcast booth. Remember, he worked with several former Pirates to do Pirate games. He was a Pirate announcer for a while. But 50 years, it's a long time. He's 73 years old. I don't think he's in good health, but he's leaving a lot of memories, and you'll hear some of them during the show. Okay, so you stay tuned, especially the final segment, 2:35. Jay Caulfield he hasn't heard a lot of these cliches and signature calls, clever phrases, because most of the time, when he was a player, he didn't listen to the games. And when he works TV, he doesn't listen to the games. He watches the games. And usually in the broadcast booth is Mike Lang. The whole sad scenario is this. And I'm one of many. Well, most of them are dead, so I'm one of a few left that remember icons in this city that no other city can brag about. Yeah, Boston had a guy named Johnny Most, and Johnny had a scratchy voice. He did the Havlicek stole the ball. Okay, that's one. But to have three in three different sports, no city can claim that. I've done the research. We had Myron Cope. We found out that Myron is a Pittsburgher, of course. He probably couldn't work in any other city. Can you imagine Myron Cope in New York? They'd run him out of town. Bob Prince, he was crazy. He tried to work for ABC New York. They ran him out of town because what works in Pittsburgh doesn't work in New York or LA. And now, Mike Lang. And I got to know all three, and, it's something I'll cherish. And when I hear these, I heard them over and over again this morning. By the way, my producer in the morning, he's one of the best. Greg, I know you're listening. I told you to listen between 12 and 12:30. I thank you for all of the work you've done, especially with all of the interviews that you had to edit in the computer for the Steelers Hall of Fame, and the Mike Lang clever phrases that we've used, that have used on this radio station. Thank you. The check's not in the mail, but I got certificates coming to one of your favorite places on Mount Washington that doesn't have golden arches. As a matter of fact, there's no golden arches on Mount Washington. But there's some great restaurants, and I know Greg and his wife would like to go there, and now they can have dinner on me. So, Greg, thank you. Talk to you tomorrow morning. Keep up the good work. The Mike Lang stuff coming up during the talk show is good stuff. It's good stuff. If you've never heard some of these, you'll probably laugh. Langer came up. A lot of these he just took from the top of his head, It just came out, and, they've been signature phrases for decades. After Mario was here, Mario scoring 500 goals, Mario scoring a game-winning goal against Chicago in the Stanley Cup playoffs, buy the dog a beer. I mean, it's great stuff. And you don't see a lot of broadcasters doing stuff like this because all they want to do is scream and yell after a home run. These were the good old days in radio history in the tri-state area. It's a true story about Bob Prince. As great as he was in Pittsburgh, he went to ABC Monday Night Baseball and Saturday Night Baseball. It didn't work out. The CEOs there didn't like him from day one. With his cliches that worked in Pittsburgh, didn't work in New York. But, he'll always be remembered, as long as I live, the gunner, and then Myron Cope. Come on, is there another Myron Cope around? No. Another Mike Lang? I don't think so. What icon is left? Now, you folks in West Virginia, you're going to say, what about Jack Fleming? Jack Fleming was a straight shooter. He was the best at doing play-by-play, sports commentary. I watched him do TV at Channel 4. I also listened to him doing the Chicago Bulls. This guy would do a West Virginia Mountaineer game, football or basketball, and then go to Chicago and do a game. He was a hustler, but he wasn't a Myron Cope. He didn't have fancy cliches or anything like that. But, I got to work under him and sit with him on Steeler flights. I learned a lot I wanted to be the best at what I could do, but I was a good listener. Young kids today don't want to listen because they know it all. I'm still a good listener. I even listen to Lola. Don't I listen to you, Lola?
Sure you do, Bill. Sure you do.
But it's true about the young ones. I don't know, maybe I never thought I knew it all. I just kept learning. Learning on my little transistor radio, learning on watching 2, 4, and 11, learning from people in Boston. I mean, some of the greats in Boston I worked for as a producer, filling in, you know. I got to meet Johnny Most. Havlicek stole the ball. I mean, you listen to that voice and you're going to say, he's a Bostonian. Would Johnny Most make it in New York or L.A.? I don't think so. Of course, L.A. has an icon, Vin Scully. But he had some good phrases. But Pittsburgh was lucky to have 3 different ones in 3 different sports. And now there's only one of the 3 living, but the memories are still there. And I got to do more homework on Rocky Calavito. Lola, what do you think we take a break? Lola and I will talk a little bit later, too, when we have some time. We have coming up John Parado. He's going to talk about a guy that's in the Hall of Fame from his neighborhood and also talk about Mike Lang. The Wine and Cheese Show at 1:35. Lola can't wait because she didn't have breakfast. And then we have Jay Caulfield at 2:35. Maybe Kyle Wiggs to talk about Bobby Bowden. I want somebody from Morgantown to talk about Bobby coming up at 2:10 if he's not at a news meeting, okay? And we'll look back, we'll look ahead. Today is Smithsonian Institution Day. Maybe I should be in an institution. Some people would agree with that. I'm Bill. That's Lola. Hopefully you know who you are. We'll be right back.
Hi, Toppy Kirchville. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock for Talkline. We'll talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia, top political figures, sports personalities, sometimes just plain folks offering their opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
You're never too far from the most local programming in the Ohio Valley. Find us here. AM 1600 and 1370. FM 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog. The Watchdog.
And a Paul Arnold slick front turtle quick.
Everybody wants to know how I get along in these dark days since you've been gone. Sometimes I'm fine, sometimes I'm dying, stumbling through one step at a time. I have good days, bad days, sunshine and rain. I have good days.
Well, I found out something about the pride of Cleveland and the pride of Detroit and the pride of the New York Yankees and the pride of the Chicago White Sox and the Dodgers. Boy, Rocky was a busy guy. The Rocky I know have made 6 movies. This Rocky Calavito, I think, played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. But I'll always remember him as a Cleveland Indian, you know. And I see he's got ripped a new rear end by a lot of media people. He doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. So I'll let the Indian fans out there think about this, whether it's over lunch or dinner or over a beer, whatever. 374 home runs, 79th all-time list. Batting average, not that great, 266. RBIs, pretty impressive, 1,159. He was a right fielder, played in 9 All-Star games with the Indians and Lola's Detroit Tigers, okay? Born on this date in New York City in 1933. All right, I don't know if those are Hall of Fame numbers. Let's see, there's a couple of people who have the votes for the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't see anybody with a yes. I don't know. He was one of my favorites not to wear a pirate uniform. All right, born in New York, New York. Was 22 years old when he broke into the big leagues on September 10th, 1955 with those Cleveland Indians. And then they traded the guy. Then they bring him back. Then he left again. Whew. Wow. What do you think, Lola? Those numbers I just gave you and gave our listeners, is he borderline Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I know the Sons of Italy would vote for him. Here we go. Yeah, he got traded to the Tigers in 1960. Played with the Tigers in 60, 61, 62, and 63. Then he went to the Oakland Athletics 1 year. Then he came back to the Indians for 3 years. Then he went to the Chicago White Sox at age 34. Then got traded to the LA Dodgers in 1968 at 35 and was with the Yankees his last year in 1968. 14 years in the major leagues, a little bit less than 1,900 games. And he was also a good fielder, couple Gold Gloves. I would put him in the Hall of Fame only because of his last name. Plus, you can't beat it, Rocky Calavito. Come on, does that sound like a tough guy or what? Yeah, but there are a lot of borderline players. Dave Parker's one. Yeah, I doubt if he ever gets in. Another Pirate, Al Oliver's one. Dave Parker ruined that because Danny Murtaugh used to switch those guys. Well, he used to switch Oliver with Bob Robertson. Bob Robertson could hit a baseball a mile, but he couldn't field very well, so Danny Murtaugh and Chuck Tanner would alternate those guys. And, yeah, that's a hard sell. Borderline ball players, now you almost got to be. I'm wondering if David Ortiz will get in. Because some of the young ones out there who have the vote say, well, you can't put in a designated hitter. Why can't you? Especially if he's helped your team and he's won a couple of MVPs. Ortiz was part of, 3 World Series teams? MVP in 2 of them, MVP in the American League. So I don't know. And how about this? I was wrong when I said Rocky Calavito did everything but pitch. He appeared on the mound on August 13th, 1958. He is one of only 13, I didn't know this, though I just read this on Fast Facts. Rocky Calavito is only 13 former Major League ball players who is an undefeated pitcher. Perfect earned run average of 0.000. He often warmed up just to warm up as a pitcher, just to practice. All right? That's good stuff. I'm putting him in my Hall of Fame. Yeah, perfect earned run average. Not bad. 1-0. And only 8 other guys have done it, and I don't know any of them. Elmer Bliss, 1903, when he made his debut. Nestor Chavez, 1967. Then Rocky, 1955. Tom Doherty. Jake Jekyll. Tim Jones. I wonder if he's related to Tom. George Kelly. Howard would remember that. 8/18/1915. Brent Maine. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters who pitched, and they're all 1-0. That's a pretty good stat. That's a real good stat. And he could play right field, center field. Sometimes he'd be a shortstop. So, he was like the all-around ball player for a number of teams, and I think he has good stats to get in the Hall of Fame. So, Cleveland Indian fans, here's my tribute. Happy birthday, Rocky. And any of you in Cleveland, take a picture of the statue in downtown. I think it's right near where the Cleveland Cavaliers play. So, is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. He is in my book. That's all that counts right now. All right, John Parado will be here. John Parado's neighbor, I think, Jimbo Covert, a Pitt Panther who was inducted. So we had like 6 Pittsburgh guys in the Hall of Fame. I know you're getting tired of that, aren't you? Well, too bad. We won't see that again because, COVID stopped from having the class of 2020. So that's why you had all these members and everything. One good thing about the Hall of Fame, the guys got between 8 and 9 minutes to get their speech and get out of there. And that was all structured for television. I thought television did a nice job. I really do. And I don't miss going there because it's 4 or 5 times crazier than the good old days of the 80s and 90s when it seemed like I was there every weekend. I even went when there were no Steelers, okay? So that's it. You've never been to Canton, have you, Lola? Have you
No,
been?
not to the Hall of Fame, no.
Okay. Maybe when Stafford goes in, you could go see him. What do you think?
Maybe.
All right. He's still going to play a few years. Did you see the interview with your guy, wide receiver, where he didn't mention Detroit Lions front office at all?
I knew he hadn't.
Yeah.
Because it's really, that whole situation is ugly.
Yeah. Hats off, my man. Too bad you couldn't get traded to a team that maybe went to a Super Bowl or whatever. Okay, but that's the past. He's got his bust. He's one of the all-time great wide receivers, probably one of the all-time great football players in that city of Detroit. Not named Alex Karras, Bobby Lane, you know what I mean? A lot of history there with the Detroit Lions. Most of it, 50s, 60s, whatever. But it's a good sports town. And someday they'll turn it around. Lola's Pistons will be good. In a few years, they got the #1 pick. Cade Cunningham is going to be a stud. The Tigers, nice young team. The Lions will only get better, okay? And, of course, the Red Wings, for, 25 years? Every year they went to the Stanley Cup playoffs. They'll rebound, rebuild. So, yeah, it's a city of music and a city of sports. Right now, this is a radio station full of variety of things. And we'll talk with John Parado of the Associated Press. Oh, yeah, big-time guy, huh? Coast to coast, people read about his sports stories, mainly baseball. Let's take that break, and we'll be right back on The Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. The Internal Revenue Service has released the Greenbrier Hotel Corporation from a pair of liens that totaled nearly $1.5 million. That for payroll taxes that had gone unpaid. Documents with the Greenbrier County Clerk's Office show certificates of release of those liens Monday. The paperwork indicated the IRS actually processed the payments July 28th. Now, there does not yet appear to be similar releases for a lien of $80,000 in employment taxes at the Greenbrier Clinic. Brad McElhaney writes more about it today in the lead story at WVMetroNews.com. Governor Justice is praising the reestablishment of the State Public Energy Authority after making an announcement over the weekend that he's reactivating it. The governor says that move will support coal and natural gas production in the Mountain State.
The one thing we surely need to be positive of is we need to do everything in our power to protect our baseload energy capacities, and that's what this Energy Authority Board will do in every way.
The PEA maintains real-time, first-hand knowledge of the status of each power plant, its life cycle, and whether there are concerns of household power supplies being disrupted. The authority had been inactive for the past decade. Marshall University officials last hour cutting the ribbon on the Bill No Flight School at Yeager Airport in Charleston. That school has been under development with Marshall since 2019 and will actually be led by aviation professional Bill No. The school aims to have about 200 students and will turn out about 50 commercial pilots every year once at full capacity. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The Nicholas County Board of Education today announcing plans for a candlelight vigil tonight for a rising freshman student who died over the weekend in a UTV accident. Brianna Broyles would have been in the 9th grade as school is about to begin. She was age 14, killed in the crash in Levacy. One of 3 teens on board the machine, the other 2 ages 15 and 16, suffered injuries as well. The vigil is set for 8:30 tonight at the New Prospect Baptist Church in Levacy. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Who wants craft beer? Saturday, August 21st, the Mountaineer Brewfest is back at Wheeling Heritage Port, showcasing craft beers from West Virginia's finest brewers. With great food, live entertainment, and many more craft beer selections in our beer garden, it's a wild and wonderful time, and you don't want to miss out. Proceeds benefit a Special Wish Foundation. Get your tickets now at MountaineerBrewFest.com. Brought to you by Wheeling Island Hotel, Casino, Racetrack, and the UPS.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
As the world gets back on track, now's the time to look forward and make bold, life-changing decisions. If you're ready to complete your college degree or pursue your master's like an MBA, Ohio Dominican University offers a range of innovative programs that match your goals. And with both fully online and on-campus evening formats available, pursuing your degree at ODU also fits your life. Classes are forming now. Get started at ohiodominican.edu. That's ohiodominican.edu.
The celebration begins Friday, August 13th at Wheeling's Heritage Port with live music. Celebrate 20 years of the Heritage Music Blues Fest. This year's Blues Fest features blues superstars Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters, 2021 Traditional Blues Grammy winner Bobby Rush, the rock and blues of Indigenous and Anna Popovich, and up-and-coming blues superstars Davey Knowles and Hannah Wickland, and many more. Heritage Music Blues Fest, Friday, August 13th through Sunday, August 15th. Tickets and info at heritagemusicfest.com.
Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 83 at 304-233-4444.
Hi, Toppy Kirchhoff inviting you to join me weekdays, 10 till noon for Statewide Talk Line. We talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. We talk with top political figures, sports personalities, and sometimes just us folks talking, all offering our opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Eddie Spaghetti.
Well, I've heard lots of people say they're gonna settle down. You don't see the faces and they don't come around. Well, I'm not that way. I got to move along. I like to drink and to dance all night. Comes to a fix, not afraid to fight. You got that right. Said you got that right. Sure got that right.
And we're back. The pride and joy of Beaver County, home of many, many, many Hall of Famers. Probably one of them is quite familiar with Jimbo Covert. Did Jimbo live near you, John?
Relatively about 20 minutes away.
Okay, was
But
he
yeah,
a Hopewell Township guy, like Tony Dorsett?
He was from Conway. Went to
Oh,
Freedom.
okay, that's right, Freedom High School.
Yeah. He, I remember when he played. He's a few years older than me, about 2 or 3 years older than me. But I certainly remember when he played at Freedom. He was an all-state lineman and defensive lineman. He was better known as a defensive player in high school than an offensive player, and also was almost a state champion wrestler. Lost in the state title match.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember that. He was a pretty good wrestler, too.
Yeah.
And he was part of the Bears team in, Super Bowl 20?
Yep.
You know, he protected that crazy guy. He was crazy during Super Bowl week. Jim McMahon. What a knucklehead. But a good knucklehead, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember, and if you check the video, what was it called? The Chicago Bears Shuffle or whatever?
Yeah.
You'll notice one of the guys out of step. That's Jimbo Covert. I don't think he was a dancer.
3 Beaver County guys, a part of that team. Dan Raines from Hopewell was one of their best special teams players.
Yep, on the Bears, yeah.
and of course Mike Ditka from Aliquippa, the coach. So
okay.
played for County flavored team there.
Yeah, okay. And, Biff, the guy that has 5-6 jobs here, he's a big Chicago Bears guy. So, he's probably listening in his car saying, did they mention my Bears? Did they mention my Bears? Yeah, we did. Yeah, I forgot there were 3, all from, Beaver County?
Yeah, 2 players and the head coach, all from Beaver County.
Boy, that is strange. Then how about Ty Law, the great player for the Patriots, Hall of Famer? Where's he from? Aliquippa?
Aliquippa, yeah. He played there, graduated, I want to say 91, 92. He played in the late 80s, early 90s. And he was a heck of a player, one of the best high school players I've ever seen.
When you're on Sheffield Road, I used to go visit my relatives until I couldn't go visit them anymore because they always asked for tickets and stuff. Before you, I think you go into downtown. It's like 4 lights before you get into downtown Aliquippa. There's this huge sign of all their champions. Well, they had to add another sign because, they've been good in football and basketball the last 30 years.
Yeah, they sure have.
You either go to the pros or you go to the jail if you're in Aliquippa, right?
Unfortunately, yeah, that's pretty much the truth.
Yeah, and they put so many athletes into the pros, it's unbelievable. It's like that small area in Midland. Is it still Midland?
Yeah.
Okay, some great athletes came from there. Who was it, guys that played for the Chicago Bulls?
Oh, Norm Van Leer.
Yeah. We always knew when Norm Van Leer and his brothers were playing on the basketball courts because we all knew that our hubcaps would still be on our wheels, They were bad dudes they were bad dudes, man, but they were good dudes as far as athletics. I got to meet Norm a long time ago. What a cool guy.
Yeah.
I said, boy, I'd want him on my team. I'd want him on my team.
Passed at a young age.
Yeah, very young. Very young. And then Simmy Hill from Monaca, right? Or Midland?
Yeah. Midland.
Yeah. And I got to see Joe Namath play on that field.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
I think he threw 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Wow.
But I remember there was thousands and thousands of people just trying to get in at halftime, And did you tell me 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago that that's just now a parking lot or something?
Yeah, it's actually, they still have the track there. It's a walking track for people to walk and physical fitness. But yeah, it's the stadium no longer there, and the lights are now at the used to be Center High School, now Central Valley High School. Yeah. So the lights live on, but the field is gone.
Yeah, a lot of great memories in Beaver County. All right. I want to limit the conversation with the Pirates, but do you agree with me? Now it's time to bring up all the young'uns. They're 30 games under 500. Bring them all up. AA, AAA, free agents. Let's see what these young kids can do, right?
Yeah, and I think they're going to do that. In fact, I'm a little surprised they haven't already. They keep playing a couple of the guys who clearly aren't going to be the long-term answers, like Gregory Polanco, for example.
Why do they keep playing him? They keep starting him.
I don't understand that. I really don't, because they hold an option on his contract for next year, but there's no way that they're going to exercise that option, Bill, and I don't know why. I don't understand it. They have this kid from Korea, Hoy Park, who they got in the Yankees trade for Clay Holmes last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, and they also have Jared Oliva, who played for the Pirates earlier this year, and he basically was on the bench for a couple, hardly got to play. Why you don't play him in right field and see how he fits in for your future is a little hard to understand, to be honest.
Yeah, I watched the Yankee game the other day thinking they're going to lose, but they haven't lost too many games in the last 3 weeks. Clay Holmes was brought in. I think it was like the top of the 8th or bottom of the 8th, whatever. They were on the road. And he faced the 3, 4, 5 guys, struck them all out.
Well, it's amazing when pitchers put on a different uniform, how pitchers, all of a sudden they get better.
Yeah.
I want to say it's weird, but I don't think weird is the case. I just think for whatever reason, whether it's coaching or just getting out of a bad atmosphere, getting out of a bad situation, especially the pitchers, it seems like when they leave Pittsburgh, they suddenly become a lot better.
And the kid that's with the Yankees, he was with the Pirates last year, the pitcher, what's his name? Tyon?
Tyon,
Yeah, he's looked pretty good too.
Yeah, he has. He pitched well again last night against the Royals, the pitcher of the month in the American League for July.
Yeah, people say, well, there's a lot of pressure when you go to New York. And I think also there's not a lot of pressure if I played for the Pirates and I go to New York because, hey, New York's a place to be. You can sell yourself. You can become a fan favorite. And you might have an opportunity for postseason play. Postseason play, yeah, you didn't get that in Pittsburgh, but you might get it in New York. But Clay Holmes has looked good. Garrett Cole, is he out of COVID? Do you know?
No, not yet, but they're thinking probably by the end of the week he should be okay to pitch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of ex-players out there doing well. Starling Marte's still hitting 300 something. Yeah, he would look good in a Pirate uniform. Oh, he already was a Pirate uniform. Oh, boy. We could do an all-star team. You know that? That'll be your assignment for next week. Let's do an ex-Pirate all-star team. How about that?
Okay. All right.
Okay? And then next time in Beaver County, I'll take you to Twin Kiss and get you a double cone. Oh, they're no longer in business.
No.
You remember the Twin Kiss?
No, I never was there, but I remember it. But I was just a kid when they closed.
Oh, yeah. I was a kid and it only cost a dime. You'd get like 2 cones molded together or whatever. It was great. You have chocolate, vanilla, you know what I mean? And it was a lot of ice cream for 10 cents, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You probably never was at the State Theater in Aliquippa, right?
No, I was not, no.
You know the bar underneath there? You know who used to play there every Friday?
The Jaggers?
The Jaggers. Even with Donnie Iris. Iris. A Yinzer. You're not a Yinzer, are you?
I'm from here, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm still a Yinzer. I changed, though, when I crossed this line and I'm in West Virginia, okay?
Yeah. well, I can't say anything.
The moonshine guy. No, I don't. I've tried that moonshine, real stuff, and I think I was sick for a week, but that's okay. But yeah, it's the Pirates. I don't understand some of these. I don't understand why Shelton puts Polanco in right field. Start somebody else. Polanco, basically, I'll be nice. He stinks. So,
I don't get it either. I really don't. I understood before the trade deadline playing him, hoping that maybe somebody would be interested and they could trade him. But now that the trade deadline passed on July 30th, I just don't see any reason to continue to play him.
How come some teams can get players like the 1st of September? Can you make trades or something?
Well, you can waiver. You can get guys on waiver.
Waiver, okay. Yeah. All right.
So, but pretty much that's changed. It's harder. You can't make any trades now after July 31st. That's the final cutoff. It used to be that you could trade guys up until August 31st if they cleared waivers, but now the only way you can get a new player is to be just put on outright release waivers and gets released.
Yeah, and I guess, usually September 1st you can expand the rosters to 40, but now I guess it stays at 28. Am I correct?
Yeah, they cut it down. A lot of managers complained about it over the years. They didn't like having that many players, and they thought it was, and it really is odd. It'd be like in football if you played most of the season with 53 players, and then in December, all of a sudden you could have like 70 players. Really, I understood why they did it, to look at the young guys and give them some experience in September, but it really got kind of ridiculous. Like teams would use 9, 10, 11 pitchers in a game, and, if nothing else, it seems to cut down a little bit of the time of the game, but not a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah. All right, let's change venues. We'll keep it at baseball. Dodger Stadium. Did you watch that fan running on the field?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I was listening to it on the radio the other day when it happened, and the announcers got a big kick out of it.
Yeah, well, the Batgirl flipped him over, tackled him.
Yeah.
I watched that. Now they have like 5 angles of that. They have one from the right side, left side, overview. I mean, it's great. You see like 7 guys chasing this guy. He thinks he's made it, and all of a sudden he meets up with the Batgirl, and she flips him. That's one of the great videos that they ought to show over and over again, and that girl should be given some kind of bonus, money bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It'd be great. She should get something for it. I mean, that's a pretty good tackle for she looked like she's only about 5'4".
No, she's not very tall. No, I was surprised. And that guy, I mean, he should be embarrassed. First of all, you don't become an idiot by running on the field. Unless you're, what was the stripper's name? Morgana?
Morgana, yeah.
Remember her? Remember when she hugged an umpire and he fell on his back? She made a few appearances at Three River Stadium, you know.
Yeah, she got around.
Yeah, I was in the press box saying, hey, I'm up here. No, I didn't do that. Yeah, so the good old days. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Forbes Field and Three Rivers. You ready to look back?
Sure.
This was actually August 9th. It's August 10th, but it's still news to me when I realized I had a newspaper in my briefcase. August 9th, on that date, 1963, the Pirates and the Houston Colt 45s split the longest doubleheader in Forbes Field history, John, lasting until 2:30 in the morning. Houston wins the first game in 15 innings, and Roberto Clemente's bases-loaded single in the 11th gave the Pirates a win in the nightcap. Can you imagine reporting on that game?
No, I'd missed deadline at 2:30.
Yeah.
Although now, if it were today, it would be there just is no deadline. It's just 24 hours. But yeah, I would have missed deadline that night for sure back in those days.
And in 1970, at that new stadium that replaced Forbes Field, Three River Stadium, Willie Stargell hits the first upper deck home run, 470 feet, right field off of New York Mets Ron Taylor. Back then, Ron Taylor was a pretty good relief pitcher. Or a starter. Yeah, and I think Stargell hit 5 of them up there because they painted the seats.
Yeah, he hit a bunch. I think at least 5, maybe 6. And, there were only like 18 or 19 hit up there.
Yeah.
And there's the ballpark open. But that made I remember when the All-Star game there was in 94, Bill. That, to me, I thought that was pretty amazing how guys like Ken Griffey Jr. and Frank Thomas, and I realized that they used juiced balls in those home run derbies. But it was amazing how many balls. I remember Griffey hit 5 in a row in the upper deck. And I don't know if people didn't go to games there from, like around the country watching that derby. I don't know if they truly understood how amazing of a feat that was for him to pop 5 in a row in the upper deck. But for guys like me and you that saw a lot of games there, I mean, that was really jaw-dropping to see somebody do.
Yeah. And Rick Rhoden and Jim Rooker hit balls over Three River Stadium, out of the ballpark. Well, they were golf balls.
Golf balls, yeah.
That's still hard to do, though,
Yeah.
Especially from home plate. No, I never got to see that. Maybe there's some video of that. Okay, 1976, August 9th, John Candelaria, only 22 years old, lefty, throws the first no-hitter at home by a Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher in 89 years. Remember, nobody threw a no-no at Forbes Field. Okay, Bob Moose came close, 7 2/3, but nobody ever threw a no-hitter there. And John Candelaria threw the first no-hitter at home by a Pirate pitcher in 89 years. Pirates defeated the L.A. Dodgers. They were very good then. 2-0 at Three River Stadium. The Candyman he struck out 9, walked only 1. But what pitcher threw the first no-hitter at Three River Stadium back in 71? Do you know?
Bob Gibson. I was there. I was just a little kid. I was at the game.
I bet there weren't 15,000 there.
I was a Saturday night. That's about all I remember. I don't know about. I have to look up on the computer here. I'll have to see what the attendance was.
Yeah, because if there's a no-hitter or Maz's home run, I bet 5 million people say they were there. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there was a big crowd, but Gibby boy, he was so tough. I think Roberto Clemente, once asked who was tougher, Koufax, Drysdale, Gibby, and I guess he looked at the report and said, "Are you kidding?" Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
I would not want to be at home plate with Bob Gibson on the mound. Or Don Drysdale. They wouldn't hit you in the butt, you know what I mean? If you crowded the plate. These guys today, they cry because they who is it, Anthony Rizzo? He's always crying the blues. Well, he almost steps on the plate when he swings,
Oh, a lot of them crowd the plate. And by the way, I have the attendance. Surprisingly, a big crowd for, especially back then at Three Rivers, 30,000.
Wow.
678.
Wow. I was off. And you were there.
I was 7. My dad and I went to the game, and he threw a no-hitter, which I kind of understood at that time was a big deal, but then obviously as I got older, I realized how lucky I was to be there.
Yeah, if you kept the ticket stub, you might have some money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you have a good seat?
Actually, we were in the outfield. We used to get seats in general admission in the second level in the outfield. So they were pretty good seats, and they didn't cost a whole lot. So, Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. They weren't like right behind home plate or something, but they also weren't up in peanut heaven either.
Yeah, I never got to see a no-hitter, whether it be in Boston or in Pittsburgh, but I got to see one at the Wild Things game. So, and I got to do the box score, no runs, no hits. Wow, that was a good thing. Yeah, and I also saw a no-hitter thrown by a girl when we had professional softball players at Wild Things Field. An hour and 10 minutes, and she mowed everybody down.
Wow.
So
Well,
that's two no-hitters.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The Pirates threw a 16-hitter in that game.
Who?
The Pirates combined to throw a 16-hitter. They got beat 11-0.
What game was that?
No-hitter.
Wait, I'm confused. John Candelari's Bob Gibson's no-hitter.
Yeah, they had no hits, and the Cardinals had 16.
Oh. You know who started for the Pirates?
I can tell you. Hang on here 1 second.
I could look it up too, but I'll let you do it.
Bob Johnson, and he didn't get out of the first inning, and then it was Bob Moose, Bob Beal, and Nelson Bryant.
Okay, Beal.
So the no-hitter, the women's no-hitter, the softball, an hour and 10 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how a game in an hour and 10 minutes?
You've heard the story about Bob Johnson, right?
No.
Okay, Bill Verdon was the manager. Bob Johnson was a wise ass. He didn't get along with the media, didn't get along with a lot of his teammates. Maybe he had an attitude problem. And I wasn't around back then, or else we probably would have had to exchange a few words. Here's what happened. He was ripping Bill Verdon. He didn't know Bill Verdon was standing a few feet away from him. So I guess he sat down, and Bill Verdon went over, and he's looking over him and said, if you're any kind of a man, you'll stand up and tell me what you just said to my face. Everybody knew that Bob better not get up because Verdon would have clocked him.
Oh, no
You
doubt.
know the story about Bill Verdon. Even in his 80s, he looked like he could clock somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he looked strange with those funny glasses on playing the outfield in the 60s, but he was one mean dude.
Yeah.
So Richie Hebner had a few words with Bill Verdon, but I talked to Richie way after that, and he said, there was no way I wanted to get in a fight with him. No way. No way. And, Richie Hebner was a tough guy from Boston. And he was a strong guy because, he had to have a job because he wasn't getting paid a lot of money as a pirate. So he was digging graves in Boston.
I remember that.
A grave digger. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was good. I saw him a couple weeks ago when they had the 71 team back for the 50th anniversary. I got to see Richie. It was good to see him. I got to know him a little bit when he was a manager in the Pirates minor league system there a few years back. And, yeah, it was fun. Bill didn't make it, unfortunately.
No.
He's in a wheelchair now.
He's got a book out. Did you know that?
He does, and I want to read it. I finally got the Dave Parker book. Finally came in the mail last week.
Did my contact send it to you, or did you have to threaten him?
The author himself got in touch with me on the internet and asked if I'd ever gotten a copy, and I said no. And he said, well, I'll rectify that. And about a week later, it came in the mail.
Wow, I paid $32.50 for it at Walmart.
Well, I'll sell you mine for $15.
How about 10?
Okay.
I'll come to Beaver County, buy the book for 10, and take you to a nice restaurant.
There you go. And then we'll go to the Twin Kids.
Oh, man. What? Oh, then you get a milkshake for 15 cents.
Wow.
Oh, as a kid, man, I had fun in Beaver County. All right. We got a lunch date or something coming up, all right?
Sounds good.
Okay. You going to give me gas mileage?
Yeah. I'll take it out of the bill when I stick you with it. You can take it out of there.
I knew I was a good sucker. Hey, thank you, man.
No, you're welcome, Bill.
All
Thanks.
Right. A twin kiss. Oh, man, I feel young. But I'm still old. But I can talk. We'll be back with hour number 222 of the Variety Show.
There's no exception to the rule. Listen, baby, it may be factual, maybe cruel. I ain't lying. Everybody plays a fool. Falling in love is such an easy thing to do. And there's no guarantee that the one you love is gonna love you. Oh, loving eyes, they cannot see. A certain person could never be. Love runs deeper than any ocean. It crowds your mind with emotion.
watchdog is FM 98.1 W251CY, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7 W249DU, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Embattled New York Governor Andrew Cuomo resigning today amid allegations of sexual misconduct.
Governor Andrew Cuomo said his instinct was to fight, but in the end, he decided to resign.
I think that given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing.
The governor said he believed the state attorney general's report that found he sexually harassed 11 women was biased and politically motivated, but he said he did not want to be a distraction for the next couple of months. His resignation takes effect in 14 days. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
In Washington, the Senate has passed the $1.1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill in a big win for Democrats.
The Senate passed the $1.1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill Tuesday with support from members on both sides of the aisle. The bill passed by a vote of 69-30, with 19 Republicans, including Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, joining the whole of Senate Democrats to advance the bill out of the Senate chamber. Vice President Kamala Harris presided over the chamber when the final vote tally was declared. Catherine Falders, ABC News, Washington.
Next, the Senate will take up a broader spending bill, this time with no bipartisan support, but this time it won't be needed. Under a budget reconciliation process, the bill can pass with just 51 votes in the Senate. Democrats call it transformative. Republicans, like Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, calling it a hammer blow to the middle class.
Democrats don't want to just refill their socialist prescription. They want to double the dose.
Both bills will need to pass the House. As kids return to school amid a COVID surge, 3 of the largest school districts in Texas are now defying Governor Greg Abbott's anti-mask mandate order, those schools requiring them on school property regardless of vaccination status. 2 Florida schools refusing to allow Governor DeSantis' ban on mask mandates, saying no one will be allowed to go without them. You're listening to ABC News.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Abbey and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
President Biden's envoy for Afghanistan will meet the Taliban's political leadership this week as the group seizes more areas across the country.
U.S. Ambassador Zalmay Khalilzad will urge the Taliban to stop its offensive and to resume negotiations with the Afghan government. Those talks have achieved nothing but an agenda since they launched last September. Khalilzad said last week the sides were, quote, far apart. The U.S. envoy will also meet officials from other countries to seek a joint international response, likely another declaration calling for a ceasefire and condemning any government imposed by force. Connor Finnegan, ABC News, Washington.
No comment from Buckingham Palace about sexual abuse allegations against Prince Andrew in a new civil lawsuit. Virginia Giuffre, one of Jeffrey Epstein's most outspoken critics, allegedly faced threats from Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Prince Andrew to engage in the abuse.
Prince Andrew can't be forced to stand trial in a civil suit in the United States, but he could be forced to pay damages if there's a default judgment against him. But clearly this is very bad for his reputation and, of course, by association, the reputation of the British royal family.
ABC's Ian Pannell. Some Amazon sellers are reportedly tracking down customers to delete bad reviews. Some people have been offered refunds worth more than the price of a product to remove a negative review. Amazon says it's a policy violation and it does not share customer emails with third-party sellers. This is ABC News.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
Two-term Cincinnati Mayor John Cranley has officially announced he's running to be governor of Ohio. Tracy Townsend reports.
The 47-year-old Democrat has been exploring a bid for months and had raised over $1.3 million for the effort as of July. First elected mayor in 2013, he is term limited from running again this year. He joins Dayton's mayor, Nan Whaley, in the primary race. Republican Governor Mike DeWine is expected to run for a second term, but he will face challenges in the Republican primary. I'm Tracy Townsend.
And the community surrounding the Yinkin Majestic paint plant in East Columbus, where an explosion in April killed one man, caused damage to homes, and spewed chemical fumes into the air, says it has still received no answers about the explosion. Bryant Somerville with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus reports.
Back in April, the U.S. Department of Labor says the Occupational Safety and Health Administration was investigating. This investigation, it was said at the time, could take up to 6 months to complete. People who live here, though, knowing an Ohio EPA report dated 2 weeks after that explosion claimed 22 substances were potentially involved, but it was unknown at the time if they were a hazard to human health or the environment. Says 4 months, way too long to wait for answers. In East Columbus, Brian Somerville.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
304-214-1600. Call the Watchdog with your thoughts. We'll be right back to Local Talk.
Who wants craft beer? Saturday, August 21st, the Mountaineer Brewfest is back at Wheeling Heritage Port, showcasing craft beers from West Virginia's finest brewers. With great food, live entertainment, and many more craft beer selections in our beer garden. It's a wild and wonderful time, and you don't want to miss out. Proceeds benefit a Special Wish Foundation. Get your tickets now at MountaineerBrewfest.com. Brought to you by Wheeling Island Hotel, Casino, Racetrack, and the UPS Store.
The celebration begins Friday, August 13th at Wheeling's Heritage Port with live music. Celebrate 20 years of the Heritage Music Blues Fest. This year's Blues Fest features blues superstars Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters, 2021 Traditional Blues Grammy winner Bobby Rush, the rock and blues of Indigenous and Anna Popovich, and up-and-coming blues superstars Davey Knowles and Hannah Wickland, and many more. Heritage Music Blues Fest, Friday, August 13th through Sunday, August 15th. Tickets and info at heritagemusicfest.com.
Hello, everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the storm tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Mix of sun and clouds with a scattered shower of thunderstorms possible. A daytime high of 87. Showers potential through the evening and the overnight, otherwise partly cloudy. Temperatures down to 74 for the low. A mix of sun and clouds for your Wednesday. Chance of a late day shower or storm. Highs near 87 degrees. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, tell their I'm rich no more. I'd love to change the world, but I don't know what to do. So I'll leave it up to you. skies are sunny, bees make honey, each Monday monopoly.
Okay, Lola, I'm watching the lower screen here. Does that yellow mean a storm's coming?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Where is that?
I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's surrounding counties or what. And I just turned the power off on my phone. Why'd I do that? Oh, Bill. I was going to see. What's the temperature out?
Hot.
Okay. Now, how do I do this? Why'd I do that, Bill? No, I won't need the phone for a while. This just in. UPI machine. For those who remember, AP machines made that kind of noise in the newsroom. Used to drive me nuts. Once I kicked the AP machine, it still kept on clicking. Okay. Cuomo resigns.
Yeah.
You should have done it a long time ago, right?
I think, how can you govern? Fight a lawsuit, but govern people that don't believe in you anymore. I mean, that's just,
Ego?
What?
Ego.
Well, I know. I know. But
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
No,
you know,
nothing in that world of politics.
it's 82 out there. Let's see.
Once my phone comes back on, it'll show you if it's going to rain or whatever. Come on, Apple, do your thing. It's the first time I think I've ever. There we go. At least I know the password. Now let's go with the weather. Yeah, 83. Low tonight 70. Boy, the last couple of nights have been real muggy. Real muggy. Here we go. Yeah, it's going to be muggy all week.
Well, until the weekend, it's supposed to, the temperature's supposed to drop a little bit.
Yeah, 64 low on Saturday and 61 on Sunday. That'll be good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. I was in Claysville this morning at that little cafe that I'm real proud of. There was only one seat left, and that was like in the window. You actually sit in the window. In front of you, there's a little table. That was the only seat left. And I got there early, like 7:30, because I had business to do at the Highlands. And I was told, turn around, Mr. DeFabio. Everybody knows me now, and they asked me about Steelers and all that stuff. I turned around, and it was pouring down rain like I haven't seen for a long time. Did it do that here? Yeah. And then it stopped.
For just a few minutes.
Yeah, it was like
and then
15 minutes, and it was gone. I felt bad for the guy delivering Pepsi out of his truck to come into the restaurant. He got soaked. But the little cafe, Main Street Cafe, if you haven't been there, it's unbelievable. You can check them out on Facebook for their dinner specials if you live around there, Wheeling to Claysville, what is it, 15 miles? The prices, you won't believe it. You look at the menu, goes, what? What? 3-egg omelet, home fries, coffee, okay, like $6. That's right. I feel bad. Sometimes I leave a tip that's bigger than my breakfast bill. I haven't had dinner there yet, and I understand like their chicken is very, very good. Okay, people very, very friendly. All right, and it's probably more to do in Claysville than there's Washington, PA. Washington is law offices and tattoo shops. Well, we just have another pizza shop opening. Okay, so there's a lot of pizza shops. I'm wondering how many pizza shops can you have like in just one or two neighborhoods? All right, but you can do a lot of shopping. I'm on a lot of apps now where I get, discounts and stuff. I'm starting to take advantage of that, What did I have at Sheetz the other day? And I couldn't eat. Oh, a donut. So I said to the girl, could I exchange this for a cup of coffee? She says, not a problem. All right? And I know the Golden Arch is everywhere. Monday, you get a cup of coffee free. Okay? It's not large, but it's free. Did you know that, Lola?
You've been telling me that for a couple of years now. Well, you have.
I know. I try and tell you, well, I can't remember what I tell you half the time. I really can't. But I'm hopefully going to get a hold of Bruce Wheeler to talk about the Blues coming up. Another great weekend in the Wheeling area. Okay, coming up. Nothing like the Blues Fest. Okay, and Lola will be there. Say hello to her. She'll be singing the blues. Okay, I've gone to a couple of those. I'm getting into the blues. You know, I never would listen to jazz, and now I listen to a lot of jazz. I never would listen to the big bands, you know? I even got a Mitch Miller CD. You remember Mitch Miller, Lola?
Yes, I do.
What was unique about him other than his bald head?
I have no idea. All I know is when I was really young, he always would do a concert at the huge park we had, Metropolitan Beach.
Mitch Miller. You got to see Mitch Miller?
Yeah, when I was really, really young.
How about Glenn Miller? Dun, dun, dun,
No,
dun,
how
dun,
could
dun.
I see Glenn Miller?
Well, who knows? Maybe he stopped by at a local arena in Detroit. I don't know. I listened to that album too. Was that In the Mood? Dun, 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 dun. Who played him? Jimmy Stewart?
Yes, and he was dead in the 40s. He got killed in a plane crash
That's
over
right. That's right.
the English Channel.
The Glenn Miller story with Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy was he could do anything, you know? I liked him because I thought he had a decent hairpiece. Okay. I watch all of these Man of the Hour shows hosted by Dean Martin. Back in the early 70s, they could not do any of those shows today, especially if Don Rickles is ripping people. I mean, the things he would say about men and women of color, about Greeks, about Frenchmen. I mean, he ripped Telly Savalas, the new you-know-what. Could not do those things today. And I enjoy watching them because I still laugh. One of my favorites, Lola, don't laugh. I don't know if he drinks, but he's the perfect drunk to tell a joke. Foster Brooks. Have you ever watched Foster Brooks?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you got to watch him. Click in Foster Brooks roasting Sammy Davis.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't have seen them.
Yeah, okay.
Not from back in those days.
Google that if you want a good laugh some evening, okay? All right. Well, we have some time. I think 135 Wine and Cheese. Kyle Wiggs, supposedly from 11 to 2, has a big news head department. I guess he's head of the news down in Morgantown. I wanted him to talk a little bit about Bobby Bowden. Yesterday we had Bill Hillgrove tell a great story about Bobby after his team, West Virginia, blew a big lead against Pitt, 36-35, and a few months later he's speaking in Pittsburgh at the Hilton or whatever, and he said, I just got this new book, How to Manage in the Second Half. I didn't realize that West Virginia in that second half with that big lead did not record a single first down. And I think a local guy was the quarterback, Mike Sherwood. And my friend from Washington High School, Chris Potts, played on that team. I'm going to see Chris because we both belong to, what do we belong to? Is it Sons of Italy? I always see him because beer's like $1 on Thursdays. And I'll ask him. He now sells Amish furniture, which I bought a desk from him like 10 years ago, and it's the best desk I've ever owned. Something about Amish carpenters. You know, they're good at what they do, and they use good stuff. It was about 10 years ago I bought this bookcase. It came apart. I didn't know the back of it was stapled. Stupid me, I didn't look at it. It looked good from the front. Yeah, whatever. All right, Lola, while we have you want to take a break and come back and talk oldies? Let's take a break. Lola says take a break. I listen to Lola. Take a break.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talkline. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls, and all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
The celebration begins Friday, August 13th at Wheeling's Heritage Port with live music. Celebrate 20 years of the Heritage Music Blues Fest. This year's Blues Fest features blues superstars Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters, 2021 Traditional Blues Grammy winner Bobby Rush, the rock and blues of Indigenous and Anna Popovich, and up-and-coming blues superstars Davey Knowles and Hannah Wicklund, and many more. Heritage Music Blues Fest, Friday, August 13th through Sunday, August 15th. Tickets and info at heritagemusicfest.com.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out an adventure-ready gas model RAV4 with up to $750 cash back, or a stylish 22 Corolla with up to $500 cash back, or go with a sporty Camry with up to $1,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com and find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply to a down payment. Offers may vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end September 7th. Toyota, let's go places.
WKKX and WVLY. Voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
Oh, scratch my back with a hacksaw.
I'm really mad, Lola. I'm really upset. Where did we finish as the coolest couple in the voting? Yeah, the two radio stations finished first. Were we in the top 3 at least as the coolest couple?
Let's hope we weren't 4th or 5th.
Yeah. 1985, Madonna's album Like a Virgin. Never mind. Became the first solo album by a female artist to be certified for sales 5 million copies. That was a good album. I don't know if I wore it out or not, but that's a lot of copies for an album. 5 million. Stones never did that. Well, not in the early days. 1986, Billy Martin's uniform number 1 was retired by George Steinbrenner. All right. You know, Billy Martin was fired, 5 times by the Yankees? That beats my record of being fired 3 times at the same radio station in 2 years. I always had a problem with management. A lot of times I was right, but you never argue with the boss. Especially when you say, you know what, you haven't given me a raise in 6 months. Do I call my union guy? I'm out on the street, then I come back. Then I argue with this consultant from Seattle. You know, they get a consultant from Seattle to tell you how to program Pittsburgh station. I didn't like that, I got fired again. Then I came back and got fired again. Then finally, I grew up a little bit and said, you know what, I'm just going to do my job. All right, Mr. and Mrs. LaBianco were murdered in their L.A. home by members of Charles Manson's cult on this date in 1969. Anything with the Mansons is scary. This is one day after Manson and his gang murdered actress Sharon Tate and 4 others. Remember, Charles Manson never killed anyone. His cult did all the killing. And, you know, we locked our doors after that. All right? I don't know if we locked our doors living on a farm in Bentleyville. No, in 69, I moved to Washington. Okay. But, you know, there was a time we didn't lock our doors. We kept our keys in the car, out in the parking garage. I mean, a lot of that has changed. I think the whole world changed, especially America after the assassination of John Kennedy. Now there are more conspiracy theories going on, okay? Whether or not the government has something to do with it. Seems like LBJ's name, you know, no matter what went on, even if they tell us the truth in 2040 and I won't be around, or 2035, no matter what went on, JFK ain't coming back. Neither's Bobby, all right? But it's all interesting stuff. If it's a slow day in news, well, let's talk about the Kennedy assassination, which is coming up in November. What? How about this, baseball fans? I should have mentioned this to John Parado. He's a sports historian. He's the Bob Grove of baseball. Baseball news on this date in 2002, you won't see this happening again. Sammy Sosa hit 3 3-run home runs. That's 9 RBIs, folks, in the Cubs' 15-1 win over Colorado Rockies. And Barry Bonds, the former Pirate, he was with the Giants back then, broke Willie McCovey's 1969 record for intentional walks in a season, got his 46th of the year on this day. 46 walks. We play a pretty good song when one of our players at the Wild Things walks, Lola. Walk Like a Man by the Four Seasons. Walk, walk. And you can hear me in the background or on the PA. Walk, walk. All right, that's interesting. 3 3-run home runs. Wow. What's this with Timmy McVeigh? Oh, I guess that was a big news story. 1995, Timmy McVeigh Terry Nichols were indicted, 11 counts each, for bombing the Alfred P. Murrah, whatever, federal building in Oklahoma City. Blasted, killed 168 people. Oh, that was ugly video. The first 3 counts of the indictment were for conspiracy for using a weapon of mass destruction to kill people and destroy federal property. The 8 remaining counts were for killing federal law enforcement agency. Did they get hung or they were electrocuted? Do we know?
Well,
Or were
I
they
know
shot at sunrise?
Well, I don't know how they killed them, but I know Timothy McVeigh was put to death. I'm not sure about Terry Nichols.
Yeah, okay. That was sad. That was sad. You like Jimmy Dean sausage?
Yeah.
Okay, I do too. Especially when it's on sale at Sam's Club. You know, you buy a big package of it. The Grammy Award-winning singer, born on this date in 1928, his name was Seth Ward. Jimmy, I'm glad you changed the name. Seth Ward, sausage? Wouldn't have made sense. His big-time song, 1961. He also had a big-time song in 1962, PT 109, which was about Kennedy, saving some of his sailor mates. I forgot who played John Kennedy. Ooh, I just saw him the other night. But Big Bad John was the #1 song. Pretty good song, sad song. And he also hosted the Jimmy Dean Show. He's a big CEO with the Sausage Company. Well, his family is the estate because Jimmy Dean died 2010.
I think it was Cliff Robertson.
Thank you, Lola. What did I see him the other day? Something about the Condor. 3 Days of the Condor. He played a CIA agent, a bad guy. Yeah, okay. And who was the guy that reported him to the New York Times? Blonde-haired guy? Robert Redford. That was just on TV. All right. Ronnie Spector of the Ronettes. Be My Baby. All right. Her real name was Veronica Bennett. She also had another hit, Baby I Love You. Okay. Say Goodbye to Hollywood. Not a big hit, but it was in the top 50 at number 48. And I think Lola likes this song. I think we have it queued up. Bobby Hatfield. He was the other half of the Righteous Brothers. 2 great vocals there, right? I mean, 2 great vocal chords. One real deep, one real... Well, you know what? He had a small part in You've Lost That Loving Feeling. He got to sing a little bit in Just Once in My Life. But you know what? He was I think the only vocalist because Bill Medley didn't sing in was it My Soul and Inspiration? What do I have there, Lola?
Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody. This is Bobby Hatfield. No Bill Medley. Lola, when you invite me to dinner, I'm going to sing that song to you.
Okay.
Or I'll sing You've Lost That Loving Feeling. Or Just Once in My Life. Oh, I can't keep going. Soul and Inspiration. Rock and Roll Heaven. They ought to do a rock. Well, there's only one guy left, and Bobby Hatfield passed away years ago. Bill Medley could do a Rock and Roll Heaven Part 3, because the first one, well, there's only one, was 1973, about Jim Croce dying, Jim Morrison passing away. Tell you what, for a couple of years there, we were losing young talent left and right. But I got to see this guy at the Civic Arena, all right? Not to drop concerts, but I've been to over 200 of them, because I love the concerts. Got to introduce a lot of great acts. But this guy was nuts. He played the flute for Jethro Tull. 18,000 people squeezed in like sardines in a can watching him do the flute thing, and then all of a sudden, the music stopped. It stopped while they were playing Bungle in the Jungle. All right? Why did it stop? Because somebody threw a whiskey bottle at him, and I think it hit him in the leg. He stopped, and he said, "We will not continue until the police go up there and arrest that," starts with an F, guy. Sure enough, all the people were pointing to the guy that threw the bottle. I think it was like a pint of Jim Beam. Of course, you can't carry a bottle now. Well, you maybe could. And sure enough, the people watched this guy being escorted out of the arena, and Ian Anderson continued to play Bungle in the Jungle. I was thrilled. I was happy to see all these fans pointing at the guy, you know. You did it, you little A-O, you know what? Ian Anderson. Boy, he could move that stage, play the flute. I watched a video of him performing in 2009, I think, in Yankee Stadium. He doesn't move as fast, but playing that flute with the group, cool stuff, cool stuff. All right, it was cool stuff. Ralph Sampson, a good basketball player, played with the Chicago Bulls, a good basketball player, and I circled this because he played at Michigan State. What year, I don't know, but he was born in 1949, so he was rather old. Max Hardcore. That's XX. We won't mention his movies. We won't mention her either. I thought this guy was cool, Lola. Antonio Banderas. Cool guy? Good-looking guy. Wish I was that good-looking. His real name was Jose Antonio Dominguez Banderas. Whew. Do I have a favorite movie? What's the one where he's going up against the bad guys and his brother? He was good in Mask of Zorro. What was it? It's not listed here. They did a sequel, too. Oh, I can't think of it. But he's born in 1960. He's still a youngin'. Let's see, that's 40, 60. What is he, 61? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. That's about it. No more stars. We're at the bottom of the hour. Number one on this date in 61, Tossin and Turning. I still can't sleep at nights. In the year 2525 in 1969 was a pretty cool song. Matter of fact, listen to it now. Things that are happening today, you don't have to wait till 2525. Tommy James and the Shondells had a silly song that made millions, Crystal Blue Persuasion. And the Stones were tied with Crystal Blue Persuasion with Honky Tonk Women. And finally, if Butch was here, he would puke because he hated the Gibbs, the Bee Gees. Andy Gibb had the number one song called I Just Want to Be Your Everything. And Peter Frampton, number two with I'm in You. I'm with you out there in listener land. Don't go away because we got to take a break. When we come back, wine and cheese. Lola's been licking her lips. I have too. Matter of fact, my lips are dry. We'll be right back.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. The Internal Revenue Service has released the Greenbrier Hotel Corporation from a pair of liens that totaled nearly $1.5 million. That for payroll taxes that had gone unpaid. Documents with the Greenbrier County Clerk's Office show certificates of release of those liens Monday. The paperwork indicated the IRS actually processed the payments July 28th. Now, there does not yet appear to be similar releases for a lien of $80,000 in employment taxes at the Greenbrier Clinic. Brad McElhaney writes more about it today in the lead story at WVMetroNews.com. Governor Justice is praising the reestablishment of the State Public Energy Authority after making an announcement over the weekend that he's reactivating it. The governor says that move will support coal and natural gas production in the Mountain State.
The one thing we surely need to be positive of is we need to do everything in our power to protect our baseload energy capacities, and that's what this Energy Authority Board will do in every way.
The PEA maintains real-time, first-hand knowledge of the status of each power plant, its life cycle, and whether there are concerns of household power supplies being disrupted. The authority had been inactive for the past decade. Marshall University officials last hour cutting the ribbon on the Bill No Flight School at Yeager Airport in Charleston. The school has been under development with Marshall since 2019 and will actually be led by aviation professional Bill No. The school aims to have about 200 students and will turn out about 50 commercial pilots every year once at full capacity. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The Nicholas County Board of Education today announcing plans for a candlelight vigil tonight for a rising freshman student who died over the weekend in a UTV accident. Brianna Broyles would have been in the 9th grade as school is about to begin. She was age 14, killed in a crash in Levacy. One of 3 teens on board the machine, the other 2 ages 15 and 16, suffered injuries as well. The vigil is set for 8:30 tonight at the New Prospect Baptist Church in Levacy. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Quicken Loans presents a sports flash driven by Jeep on the Watchdog.
The Cleveland Indians beat the Cincinnati Reds 9-3, snapping the Reds' 5-game win streak. Joey Votto had an RBI single. Nick Castellanos and Tucker Barnhart also driving in runs, but the Indians scored 8 over the first 4 innings. Luis Castillo took the loss, lasting just 3 1/3 in the start, falling to 6-11. The Cincinnati Bengals will open up their preseason schedule on Saturday. They'll be down in Tampa facing the Buccaneers. The Bengals will play 3 preseason games this season thanks to the new 17-game regular season. The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing the Indianapolis Road Course on Sunday. Kyle Larson leading the series with 5 victories. 3 races remain before the start of the playoffs. This will be the 6th road course race on the calendar. For lightning-fast updates as news happens, download the Score app today. It's free. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on the Watchdog.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstar batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
As is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
Technology can be challenging for business leaders, but Omni Strategic Technologies enables your business to perform without limits. They're the only IT company the Watchdog trusts. Omni offers IT managed services, cybersecurity and advisory solutions, backup and disaster recovery, and can handle all your hardware needs. If your business is faced with any technology challenges, the answer is simple. Call Omni Strategic Technologies at 304-242-7600 or visit them at www.omniperforms.com.
Hi, Toppy Kirchville. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock for Talkline. We'll talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia, top political figures, sports personalities, sometimes just plain folks, offering their opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president would have fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is I'm sneaking out. And this is where I went to school.
This just in. A town hall meeting tonight with Belmont County Commissioners, 6 o'clock at the Martins Ferry Recreation Center on 401 South 4th Street in Martins Ferry, Ohio. All welcome. That's a community note. Do you have any community notes? Just send it to us. We'll put it on the air for you to help you out. Okay? I think Janet's mad at me because she brought me this box. There's nothing in it, so. Oh, that's good.
I brought you the box, but
Why'd you bring me the box?
well, just because, so you could see it. It comes in this neat little foil wrapper. I couldn't bring that, because I had to lick the wrapper. It was
I
that
was
good.
thinking, will she bring me cheese today?
Yes.
You know, good minds.
It's a
What's that
portion.
saying?
They think alike,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. I'm going to eat that on the way home.
Are you scared now, Janet? Are you scared?
Yeah. What's it called?
A little.
Borson? Borson?
It is a Borson. It's a herb flavor French cheese.
With garlic, salt, white pepper. I didn't know there was a white pepper.
Yeah.
So we got a black pepper and a white pepper and a red pepper.
Sure.
Yeah. Did you know that, Corey? I did. Oh, that makes me feel pretty stupid. Thank you. Is it made in Chicago? Okay. Let's see. Cholesterol 13, sodium, sugars 1 gram. That's good. Oh, I can't wait to taste it. While you guys talk, I'm going to try some. And you brought me my favorite cracker.
I did, yes.
Isn't love strange? Moody Blues, 1972.
It's a really good herby, garlicky cheese. I mean, it's very powerful. Yeah. But it's a really good cheese to use in different recipes, like melt over chicken or something. So
My
yeah.
breath will be
You
bad
can
when I go home and kiss the
It
cats.
may be, yes. It's pretty
I
strong.
kiss the cats all the time. That's why they
But it resembles a cream cheese. It's kind of crumbly, sort of like a goat, but it is made with cow's milk. So.
Cow's milk?
Mhm.
Wow. Garlic and fine herbs. What's that called? Gournay cheese?
Yeah.
Gournay?
Mhm. That's the French version. Yes.
Okay. You get this from France? Oh, no, I just mentioned Chicago. I bet this is Grumbleozo.
It is very good.
And what's over there, a salad?
A grilled chicken salad, yes.
Okay.
Now that's a half portion too. I split a whole
Did
big
Lola
one.
get the same? Because I don't
She
want her to
did.
get more than me.
Yes, she did. No, she got the same thing.
Okay, all right. And did she get her glass of wine?
Yeah, she did.
Is that her first one or second one or third
That's
one?
the first. She's always the first to get the glass, too.
Yeah, why is that?
A professional taster.
Yeah. All right. Can I have the
It's a
bottle?
long one.
Can I have the bottle?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Let me see. You guys are on 3. We don't want you on yet. 1. Oh, here we go. And I know my French too. Oui, fry. Vourray?
Vouvray. Pretty darn
Hooray!
close.
I said vourray.
Close.
Boy, am I smart, huh, Janet? It's a product of France. I like the label's okay.
It's classic,
Charles
that's for sure.
Bevo?
Charles Bove. So
Bove?
it's going to be the Charles Bove Vouvray out of Loire Valley. Vouvray is going to be the little appellation that it's coming from out of France. 100% Chenin Blanc, so get a little sweetness to it, a little fruitiness, aged and stainless too, so it's not oaky by any means, but it's a refreshing little wine I enjoy.
Chalky limestone.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Wait, I got limestone driveway.
Yeah, I
You put
don't
this
know
on my
if the
driveway? Okay.
Don't know if the grapes will grow quite as well in your driveway as what they do in that chalky limestone, but definitely
Spicy
the soil
food,
type.
strong cheese. So this will go with the cheese?
It will, yes.
Did you two plan this again?
No.
I mean, you don't talk to each other and say, I'm going to have this cheese, and you say, we're going to have this wine?
Sometimes, but we didn't do that today.
Oh, this one fell into place perfectly.
So you guessed today. Here it is, folks. All right. Did we all take a sip?
Yeah.
Well, let's ask
I've
Lola.
taken a couple.
Lola, what do you think? She's still eating.
I think it's really, really good. I was making my salad.
Well, she hasn't eaten
really
since
good.
yesterday, but that's okay. Yeah, okay.
It is. I almost kind of put this between a Riesling and a Pinot Grigio when it comes to sweetness. You get the full richness like you do out of a Riesling. You get a lot of that same green fruit tendency with the green apple and almost tartness of the apple skin coming out of it. Wow. But it's not.
It does have a really good after.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, finish is really nice and
Yeah.
smooth, and really crisp.
Yeah, what's this emblem? Looks like a Cub Scout emblem.
Yeah. So that's
Doesn't
how you
it?
say with the Lafleur.
Lafleur?
But that's Charles Bove's main logo there, their main
that
little
right?
sign. So it's something
Doesn't it
neat
look
to
like
see.
the Cub Scout logo?
I don't know.
Oh. I was a Cub Scout. I didn't make it to Eagle, though. I just tired of going to those meetings and falling asleep at campfire. I could never melt a marshmallow over a fire. I would either burn it or it'd be dripping and I'm there. I'm done. I had somebody else do it. But this is pretty good. Lola likes it. 2019 product of France. At least we get along with them, the French, with wines and stuff, right?
We do.
And food. Okay? I like this.
That's another one that probably would have went good with the chili last week, I think. Rosemary was bringing us some chili for you guys after we were done, so.
Yeah.
Another good little company there.
Yeah. Did you go to Chili Cook-Off?
I didn't make it, no. I was
They
at
didn't
the
miss you. They
shop,
still started without you.
Oh,
Did you
good.
go, Janet?
No, I didn't.
That they started without you and me. I couldn't make it. I had a meeting.
Well, we're open all day on Saturdays, and it was only till 5 or 6 or so.
Yeah, 6
so.
o'clock.
Yeah, we were open for
They
business
did real
at
well,
that
too.
point.
They got about almost $7,000.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's almost $1,000 an hour. You know, that's pretty good. Rose, who does a great job, we have to credit her volunteers too. But you know, that's a great event. That's one of the big events around here. You know, but there's always a big event in Center Market, isn't there?
Yeah. I'll tell you, the Friday night before, the first Friday was really busy this past week.
Was it crazy?
Oh, it was. It was a pretty busy night.
Smile if you made some money. There, hold it. Smile, Corey, if you paid the bills. Janet,
We
there you
did
go.
our best, yes.
Yeah. I forgot that was last Friday, wasn't it? Yeah. What's this Friday? Anything?
This Friday.
This month is going by
actually,
real
I wanna say
quick.
this Friday is off. Or no, the Blues Fest is coming
Oh,
this
it is
weekend.
this
actually.
weekend, yes.
Yeah, Blues Fest is coming this weekend.
Does that start Thursday? Lola, you're probably going, aren't you?
Oh, you crazy?
Of course you
They
are.
They won't start until she shows up. Are you crazy, Janet?
It actually, the Blues Fest itself starts at 5 o'clock on Friday. We got a blues party to go to on Thursday.
So
Then-
Wheeling
That's an
starts
annual
celebrating
thing
on
for you
Thursday.
too, right?
Yeah.
The pre-party?
Oh, yeah. She reminded me already. I had the time screwed up. I don't want to be late at that one. You know, I want to get there before Lola starts drinking. Anyhow.
Why, I bring my own beer.
I
What
got
kind
it.
of dressing is this?
It's a raspberry vinaigrette. Isn't it awesome?
Did I get that too? Did I get that?
Yes, it is a low-fat, light raspberry vinaigrette. It's delicious with chicken, with the grilled chicken that's on there. It's amazing.
Hey, Corey, pick a number from 1 to 5. Go ahead.
Let's go with 3.
That's the number.
That's the one.
Here, take the bottle, because you're on candid camera now. I'm off camera. I want to try this cheese. Talk about it, okay? You can hold it up. Okay, there you go. I got you. You and Janet take over. I don't want people to see me eating. Go ahead. I got to try this.
He's got to give it a shot.
I mean, when you said the wine was paired with strong cheese, now that's strong in flavor, like just the herbs and the garlic that's in there, but it just melts in your mouth. It's a really good cheese. But
Well, I can
another
taste the
strong
garlic.
cheese. Yes.
And a little sip of the sweet wine, or semi-sweet wine will probably kind of
Boy,
cut
is
that
that
garlic and that powerfulness down.
That's better than lobster.
Right.
Steak, my favorite.
It would be good melted on top of a piece of steak, honestly, with some fresh crab meat on top of it too. You know, just a melted.
Why do
Oh,
you
it would be
tease
so
me?
good, or over
Why do you
a
tease
piece
me?
of grilled chicken.
You hear that, Lola? Oh,
I want to say too, cheese curds work well inside
Inside
a
the burger, I
hamburger.
wanted to ask you.
If you don't make the hamburger uber thick.
Yes.
That was my mistake. I made them because I wanted to make sure the cheese would stay in. So it did melt, but outside of that, I didn't cook them, the burgers, and they were kind of dark, you know. But it really gave a good flavor. And I took a cheese cutter and just made real small, tiny pieces.
Of the curds?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you
put
almost
it
have to
inside.
cut them up, because some of them can be pretty
Oh,
large.
yeah. And you don't want them so thick that they're not going to melt at all, you know, so, yes, that worked out.
Good, I was
really
wondering.
swell. Really.
I thought they would. You know. I mean, a cheese on a hamburger is usually just American or Swiss for me, especially if there's mushrooms on it. Mushroom Swiss burgers.
I like to sprinkle
You know, it just-
blue cheese.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Now, what kind of cheese curds do you have over there? Is it the basic cheddar? And
We just have the basic cheddar and the white cheddar right now, but I can get like a garlic and herb one and a Cajun. I mean, they have so many flavors, a ranch one. But they're all basic flavored right now. It's just a weird
Yeah.
time of year for them. People aren't wanting fried food,
Yeah.
and that's what they do with them a lot of times.
fry 'em
They
a lot.
bread them and
The
fry 'em up.
hamburgers come a long way. You know what I mean? With cheeses, you know, you usually,
yeah.
you know, if I in the '60s, can I have a piece of provolone? Huh? Huh? Don't you want American? Kraft American? Whatever.
Right. And a lot of them have a funky sauce on them, like a bacon jam or something. A lot of the different restaurants. I mean, you have to offer something different than just the American way, you know.
You know, Lola tells people I got a big mouth. My mouth is not so big when do I mention Wendy's? They got this like triple burger that's got like 15,000 condiments on it, onions and things. It's like this. I watched somebody eat it when I went there to get some chili, by the way, a couple weeks ago. It's like this tall. How in the hell do you eat that?
You gotta cut it in half somehow.
Oh, I would try it, but oh boy, I don't know how many calories that is. That's got to be one bite, 2,000 calories.
That's
you
a
know?
month's worth.
Yeah, it's called juicy something, whatever, you know. And you know, not too long ago, I don't know if Lola was responsible. They had a picture next to Dave Thomas saying I look like him.
I didn't do that.
You sure? But I didn't look like him, did I? Yeah. Dave Thomas? I thought I looked like Dr. Phil. Whatever. Still a handsome guy, huh, Janet? Thank you very much. You say the right things. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Dr.
like this.
Phil really is, isn't he?
He is, yes.
Slow on the uptake there,
I
kid.
know, I just didn't catch on too quick.
I'll remember that, Lola. You know what? I'll take that
No, you
home.
won't. That's the good thing. You won't remember it.
Make sure. You want to take that home, Lola?
Yep.
You'll save some for Linda? Sure. Oh, yeah. That'll last her till at least 3 o'clock, I bet. Well, you want to mention it one more time? Vouvet?
Yeah, Vouvray.
Yeah, Vouvet. Hooray. Hooray for whatever, Vouvet.
And I've got a couple different Vouvrays in the shop. This one in particular, it's that mid-range. It hits a 24 bottle, so a little pricier. But we carry the Chateau de Valmer as well. Same appellation, same region of France at $14. It might be a little sweeter, not quite as complex, but it's pretty darn good. But I did pull a couple beers in this weekend that I wanted to throw out there and mention. No sours, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did get a couple big imperial stouts that are looking pretty good. Of course, Clown Shoes I always like to mention. I brought in their Storyteller, which is an imperial stout aged in Whistle Pig rye whiskey barrels. And I think Whistle Pig rye whiskey bottle of that's running around $90 a bottle now, so it's something that's just getting popularity. But the cans in particular are $9 for the 19.2 ounce cans, so not crazy pricey, but still getting up there. Delicious. And then I did get a case of Greenbrier Valley out of Lewisburg there. Great Claw Imperial Stout. It's also aged in bourbon barrels. So you're seeing a West Virginia brewery do some stuff in bourbon barrels, probably using smooth ambler barrels out of Lewisburg too, I would guess, but not for sure. But something fun to see. With the fall time moving along, we're going to start seeing a lot of these dark beers.
The stouts are the really dark ones. Like, I'm not a fan of the IPAs or anything like that. It has to be sort of light. But some of the stouts are very good.
Yeah,
especially when they have like the coffee flavor too.
It's just
I
like
like
anything
coffee.
too, you gotta really get that taste for them. I mean, once
Yeah.
you work with your entry levels and just work your way up from there, you'll be drinking them before you know it. Just like I always say,
Right.
it takes lots of practice. That's
Right.
all.
This past weekend, I had to place my Christmas holiday imported cheese orders. So I did order in like a Guinness cheese, and then there's a whiskey bourbon cheddar that's in a neat little wheel. There's just so many things. Even like a caramel apple cream soda in a bottle. It's just the fall things and the holiday things are coming in.
It's hard to believe. Yeah,
It's
I
hard to
know.
believe the summer's almost
Red and
gone.
green
It is.
popcorn, and it's hard to think in July or August about your Christmas ordering. But you have to pre-book everything anymore. People are afraid to order the extras in. These big companies that distribute to us, the small businesses. You have to
Why
pre-order
is there a
everything.
shortage on straws?
I don't know. It's straws, it's mayonnaise packets, it's deli cups and certain lids, and
Bottle tops, yep, everything.
it's just there's the product lines, the production lines just don't have the staff that they need.
One of the big hamburger joints, I won't give a mention because I'm not a big fan of them, but I watched this on the news the other day. They were short on bags. How can you be short on paper bags?
Paper bags.
Paper is short everywhere.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
This is so good, Janet.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
in love.
the bags that I've been getting in are all odd shaped. It's not what I'm normally bagging your cheese in. It's an inch wider or inch smaller. It just depends on what they have on the shelf and what's in stock.
Might be from all that extra money they printed this year.
It possibly, possibly, there's your paper shortage.
Yeah, there should be if there isn't,
Right.
for that reason. I know it.
Now, would this cheese be good on a hamburger?
It probably would be,
I
yes.
thought of that earlier myself. Might
It's-
mix something else in with it too, another cheese on top of it too.
Right, something milder maybe to,
A little bit go a long way with that.
now that one's so spreadable and creamy, I think you would almost have to put a blob of that on and then a slice of cheese to sort of hold the blob of the Boursin on once it's grilled. I
I'm already
think
confused. I've ruined my hamburger.
the blobs of cheese, yes.
Maybe spread it on top of the bun and then lay it down on the hot
Ooh,
burger
yeah,
afterwards.
that's the best. You can tell there's a chef in your family, Corey.
These crackers are the best. They're the best. Look at that. I ate half of that. It's really good stuff. I want to try something I don't like so I can say, boy, that sucks. But I wouldn't do that. You guys bring in the best.
Well, I'm
Hey.
looking forward to all the new holiday items that are coming and being introduced, and
And Lola's I looking forward
And you
to
just gotta try it
helping
again.
Corey on a Friday night.
Third
do
Friday.
it after the Wild Things season's over, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Well-
seriously, we want to help.
Yeah.
We won't do this one for you, one for me. No, not with the cheese plate. Well, if I get a hold of the cheese plate.
we do have a third Friday and then Labor Day weekend,
Yeah,
right?
third
That's
Friday,
the
Labor Day
immediate.
weekend's
Labor
coming.
Day weekend's less than a month away,
It
right?
is, in just a
it
couple
is.
weeks.
When
It's
do kids go
amazing.
back to school?
Some of them have,
Next,
around the country, kids have already gone back. Yeah, so
And they're starting to practice football soon, right?
they already did. Yeah.
But that's okay. That's all right. Can't wait to watch Pitt, West Virginia. Wait till you see me on Fridays.
Yeah.
I'll take care of both universities so people don't get mad. I don't know if I should wear a Pitt hat or a WVU hat, and the other one be the T-shirt. But I got a nice West Virginia T-shirt, okay?
So it might be a pit hat then.
Oh, yeah. It was on sale at Walmart. I didn't want to spend too much money on WVU. They got nice colors, black and gold, you know? Is it black and gold or blue and gold?
Blue and
Blue.
gold.
Look.
Come on.
What's blue and
right there it is.
There it is.
Cheers, beers, and ears.
Mountaineers.
Oh, excuse me, Mountaineer. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, blue and gold, isn't that Michigan's colors too, Lola? Michigan.
Yes, but it's a different yellow. It's maize in blue. not
Maize.
blue and gold.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I'm just saying, like, people look at the Lions. It's silver and Honolulu blue. That is not teal. It is not light blue. It is not medium blue. It is Honolulu blue. Just saying. Just saying.
Those are important details.
Hopefully they don't
Yes,
get rid of
they are.
hopefully they don't get rid of the line decal, you know, because all these helmets are changing now too, so.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that, merchandise, you know? I can't wait for the Cleveland, what are they called?
The Guardians.
The Guardians.
Well,
Hey,
I want to go back to Cleveland baseball team.
oh boy, oh boy.
Just maybe.
Hey, I'm going to Lola's sports shop in Cleveland to get my Guardian shirt. There. Something about Lake, what was the Indian's name? Toho?
Wahoo.
Wahoo?
Chief
Yahoo?
Wahoo.
Wahoo. Okay, Wahoo.
Yeah, I don't stutter. Wahoo.
Wahoo. Yeah.
By the way, there is a severe,
Thunderstorm?
Seen that on my way, yeah.
yeah, thunderstorm warning
You might be stuck with
until
this for more than a half
a
hour.
quarter to 2. I mean, a quarter to 3.
You know what? We're
There
out
go
of,
my cushions on the back deck again. I pick them up, put them there.
and she tells me I'm losing it.
What? At least I pick them up.
Oh, I would love to leave that. I can't believe time is up. You got that bottle of wine in storage? I mean, on the
I do.
shelf?
Got it on the shelf. I'm ordering more
storage.
today. So we got plenty
I
coming
say
up on
storage because Lola might, you know, if there's only 2 bottles left, she'll take them.
What about the wine shots? Are they in?
They're not those. Maybe next week. But
Okay.
I'll bring some of those down
Oh,
to
boy.
showcase.
You
Shots?
wait, Lola, you wait.
Wine shots, yes.
We're going to have shots in the studio? Wow.
That's what happens 60 feet away from, I get the samples first.
Do you? Why you?
Connoisseur.
Is it all about you, Janet?
No.
Yes, it is. We got to go. Thank you, man. We'll see you next week. Thank you for the cheese, Janet. Thank you for the wine, Corey. Lola will enjoy it. We'll be back with hour number 2. Kyle Wiggs, hopefully, and then Jay Caulfield, a former Penguin great, will be with us.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX, Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Apologizing while maintaining sexual harassment allegations against him are false. Andrew Cuomo announcing he's stepping down as governor of New York. Cuomo claiming he was the target of a politically motivated attack against him.
If I could communicate the facts through the frenzy, New Yorkers would understand.
More from ABC's Aaron Katersky.
Before he resigned, Governor Cuomo apologized.
I take full responsibility for my actions. I have been too familiar with people.
What the governor said he meant as endearing gestures, he conceded women found to be dated behavior. The governor said he did not want to cause months and months of distraction at a time the state is dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, and so he opted to step aside, a resignation that takes effect in 14 days. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
In the Senate, a big victory for Democrats.
On this vote, the yeas are 69, the nays are 30. The bill, as amended, is passed.
19 Republicans joining Democrats in passing President Biden's $1.1 trillion infrastructure bill today. On the floor, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer praising the bipartisan work and looking ahead toward a larger infrastructure package.
Once this bill is complete, the Senate will immediately turn to the second track in our two-track strategy, passing a budget resolution that will unlock historic investments in American jobs, American families, and the fight against climate change.
That more than $3 trillion bill not supported by Republicans can pass without them under a budget reconciliation process. More than 8,300 patients are now hospitalized with COVID-19 each day. That number could quadruple to more than 33,000 by September 4th, forecasts the CDC, as the Delta variant ravages America's unvaccinated population. You're listening to ABC News.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13-valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
2.5 million people have enrolled in the Affordable Care Act since the Biden administration opened a special enrollment period in February. Vice President Kamala Harris today touting that milestone.
That is 2.5 million people who can rest easier knowing that they can go to the doctor without taking on debt.
The Vice President urging Americans in need of coverage to sign up through healthcare.gov before the enrollment period ends Sunday. The FAA says reports of unruly passengers on planes jumped again in the past week as they're pleading for help from airports.
In a new tally, the FAA says it has received over 3,800 reports of unruly passengers on board planes this year, up 95 in the past week. And while a majority of those stemmed from people refusing to wear masks on board, another common denominator has been alcohol. The FAA is asking airports to cut down on alcohol to go from restaurants and bars and airport terminals, and for airport police to arrest or kick out those who are drunk and being belligerent before they get on a plane.
ABC's Alex Stone. After a year-long journey, China's wandering elephants are heading home. 14 wild elephants have crossed over a river that will lead them closer to their natural habitat. It's unclear why the elephants left the nature reserve to roam for 300 miles. For months, authorities have been using food to lure the elephants in the right direction. This is ABC News.
How can I make sure my office never stops working?
With Staples Connect, it's possible. I need to keep my back office stocked without messing up my bottom line. Also possible, because Staples Connect has your small business covered with big savings on everything you need. This week, earn 30% back in a Staples store bonus when you spend $85 on ink or $200 on toner. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Limit 4 in-store only. Visit staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details. Ends 8/21.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
Two-term Cincinnati Mayor John Cranley has officially announced he's running to be governor of Ohio. Tracy Townsend reports.
The 47-year-old Democrat has been exploring a bid for months and had raised over $1.3 million for the effort as of July. First elected mayor in 2013, he is term limited from running again this year. He joins Dayton's Mayor Nan Whaley in the primary race. Republican Governor Mike DeWine is expected to run for a second term, but he will face challenges in the Republican primary. I'm Tracy Townsend.
And the community surrounding the Yinkin Majestic paint plant in East Columbus, where an explosion in April killed one man, caused damage to homes, and spewed chemical fumes into the air, says it has still received no answers about the explosion. Bryant Somerville with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus reports.
Back in April, the U.S. Department of Labor says the Occupational Safety and Health Administration was investigating. This investigation, it was said at the time, could take up to 6 months to complete. People who live here, though, knowing an Ohio EPA report dated 2 weeks after that explosion claimed 22 substances were potentially involved, but it was unknown at the time if they were a hazard to human health or the environment. Says 4 months, way too long to wait for answers. In East Columbus, Brian Somerville.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Stand by. You're back to live and local programming in moments on the Watchdog. For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
The celebration begins Friday, August 13th at Wheeling's Heritage Port with live music. Celebrate 20 years of the Heritage Music Blues Fest. This year's Blues Fest features blues superstars Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters, 2021 Traditional Blues Grammy winner Bobby Rush, the rock and blues of Indigenous and Anna Popovich, and up-and-coming blues superstars Davey Knowles and Hannah Wickland, and many more. Heritage Music Blues Fest, Friday, August 13th through Sunday, August 15th. Tickets and info at heritagemusicfest.com.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Mix of sun and clouds with a scattered shower of thunderstorms possible. A daytime high of 87. Showers potential through the evening and the overnight, otherwise partly cloudy. Temperatures down to 74 for the low. A mix of sun and clouds for your Wednesday. Chance of a late day shower or storm. Highs near 87 degrees. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX.
The Watchdog.
Was so much colder then. My father was a soldier then, and times were very hard when I was young. When I was young, I smoked my first cigarette at 10, and for girls I had a bad yen, and I had quite a ball when I was young.
When I was young, watching Pirate baseball in the 60s, I hated Bob Gibson. And I still hate him. But he's one of the greatest right-handers of all time. That's a nice segue for Mr. Cardinal. He's the, I guess you could say, the number one fan in Morgantown, Cardinal fan. His Cardinals play the Pirates tonight. I hope the game gets rained out, so tomorrow I can say the Pirates didn't lose last night. Cardinals are 55-56. The Pirates are 41-71. That's 30 games under 500. Mr. Cardinal, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Why complain? When you get old, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know, today we've been playing a tribute to Mike Lang. Yesterday it was Bobby Bowden and all the Pittsburgh individuals at the Hall of Fame. But I do remember Bobby because I was there at Pitt Stadium. I don't think it was half full. My ticket was like $1.25. I still think I have the ticket stub. You know, West Virginia had the big lead. What was it, 35-8? Next thing you know, no first downs in the second half for the Mountaineers, and Pitt won 36-35. We had Bill Hillgrove on. He was in the broadcast booth then. He wasn't the number one guy. It was Ed Conway. Bill was the color analyst. But I do remember walking around that stadium. It was hard walking up the stadium because they called it Cardiac Hill. For me, now I would just roll down the stadium. Of course, it's now the Peterson Event Center. But I remember going by the West Virginia locker room, and there must have been 20 to 30 people there, and I think they were ready to hang Coach Bowden.
Well, I mean, that certainly was one of the low points here. And, you know, if you can believe it, at the time, you know, obviously history and perspective changes through these decades, but, I mean, there were some people here that never got over that.
Oh, yeah. It's just like a lot of them. When they tell me Pitt stinks or Pitt sucks, I just say 13-9, and they shut up.
Well, that's true. There's some people here that'll never get over that one either. But
I can't get over that one. Pitt was not a good team. Then you had a guy, he's got a big talk show now. What was his name? McVay? Yeah, didn't he miss like 3 or 4 easy field goals?
He missed 2 early.
Yeah, but, you know, that was I thought that team would be playing in a national championship because Pitt, they sucked. They were not that good. But you never know till you play the game. But that day, I'll never forget because, there weren't a whole lot of people there. And, you know, Pitt, I almost walked out at halftime. I'm saying, this is unbelievable. And I'm glad I hung around, but I remember all the people gathering around the visitors' locker room, and I'm thinking, this might not be good. Anyhow, as Bill Hillgrove said, about 4 months later, Bobby Bowden was at the dais, and he's a funny guy, too. You know, he put Bill, I think Bob Prince was there. You put those guys together on dais, they're going to make people laugh. And Bobby got up and said, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Bobby Bowden, and I'm reading a new book, How to Manage a Game in the Second Half. He was a good guy. I used to watch him on Channel 7 or Channel 9, the Bobby Bowden Show, back in the early 70s. Can you believe that? He had his own show on local TV down here.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's he's a precursor to the current coaches show, right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
One thing that Bobby Bowden said when he was at Florida State, obviously had such success there, 315 wins at Florida State, 2 national championships. He used to joke then, he said, I made all of my mistakes at West Virginia. All the things that I figured out how to do better at Florida State, I made those mistakes in West Virginia. And one of perhaps the biggest, you know, Florida State always used to get accused of running the score up.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that he said. He said, after that West Virginia Pitt game, I learned that no total of points is ever enough.
Yeah. Hey, there's a
You gotta
local
keep
guy.
scoring.
There's a
You
local.
gotta keep scoring.
Yeah, there's a local guy, and I played against him a long time ago when he was with Bel Air and I was at Trinity. Mike Sherwood. He's now the AD at Bel Air. Was Mike Sherwood the quarterback of that WVU team in '70?
I don't know if that's way before my time. I don't know if that's the same guy or not.
Okay, because
Honestly, I
he
don't
was the
know.
quarterback when West Virginia went to the Peach Bowl in '72. I know that.
Okay.
Because the tight end, I played against him at Wash High. I was at Trinity, and his name was Chris Potts. So his claim to fame is he caught 3 passes in the Peach Bowl where they had about 35,000 empty seats in Atlanta. So, if you didn't go to the Big Five, you'd go to the Peach Bowl, the Tangerine Bowl. I don't know. Now they got too many bowls, but, whatever. It's great for the kids. Well, great for the guys to keep playing an extra game. But, I had a chance to speak to Bobby Bowden, and I'm going over my cassettes, believe it or not, trying to find it. So, I just got a text from Janie, the wine lady. It is Bill, you have to say the awesome Mike Sherwood. Okay. He was a good quarterback. You don't remember him, though, do you, Kyle?
No, that was before. I mean, I know the name, I know the history, but that was before my time.
Yeah, okay, well. Bob Gibson was before your time.
Well, that's true, but I grew up there, so.
Yeah, he was
it's
the
a little
first to
bit
throw a no-hitter at Three River Stadium. Your Cardinals got 16 hits that night. How do I know this? Because my guy from the Associated Press, John Parado, we talked about that. Because Bob Moose, there was never a no-hitter thrown at Forbes Field. Never. Bob Moose came the closest with 7 2/3. So, but Bob Hoot Gibson, and I've told you this story before. Back then, because I really hated the Yankees and I really hated the Cardinals, when Roberto Clemente hit a line drive and broke Bob Gibson's leg in '67, I cheered. Figured he's not going to be in the World Series, and I had the feeling the Red Sox were going to be in the World Series. Darn it, wouldn't you know that he healed just in time to beat the Red Sox? What, 3 games?
Yeah.
Game 1, Game 4, Game 7, I think. But the Cardinals, they were good. They deserved to win. But the Red Sox didn't have Tony Conigliaro, who was Rookie of the Year. He led the American League in home runs in 1970. He didn't play, but, I don't think he would have made a difference. And I do remember your shortstop, Julian Javier, broke Jim Lomborg's no-hitter. The guy was hitting .210, and he breaks up a no-hitter. You'd think I forgot about that '67 World Series. Every time I think of your name, Cal, I think of the Cardinals. Things got to change. Yeah. They got to change, man. Give me a time machine. I'll change things. The Cardinals were good. And then, I got to mention Lola, because Lola's a big Tiger fan. Next year, they lost in 7 games to her Detroit Tigers. You probably don't remember that either, do you?
Well, that's the year I was born.
Okay, all right. But those Cardinal teams were unbelievable. And I still have the cover. If I find it, I'm going to put it away in a little box I have for you because I owe you a couple things. There was a cover of Sports Illustrated, and it was called The $1 Million Infield. It's got a picture of all the infielders. They were each making a lot of money. Highest paid infielders in baseball. And they were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. They all looked old back then. If you look at old baseball cards, these guys were 25, 26 years old. They looked like they were in their 40s, They all had that crew cuts and everything. Yogi Berra was ugly. Well, I can't say that because I like Yogi. All right. You have any Bobby Bowden stories you want to share with us?
Well, just that, obviously he had deep ties to West Virginia.
Yep.
Before he went on and to his Hall of Fame career at Florida State. He spent 10 years here.
Yeah.
He was offensive coordinator for 4 years and was a head coach from 70 through 75 and had some success, albeit a lot of people remember that Pitt fiasco. The thing that I remember about Bobby Bowden, I came to work here in the 90s, and I worked a lot with Mickey Faferi.
Oh, man. What a good guy.
Yeah, and he was personal friends with Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
So there would be times where I would host a talk show with Mickey, and something would be going on, and he'd say, "Hey, let's call up Bobby."
Yeah.
And we would, and Bobby Bowden was always so gracious, especially when he found out that it was Mickey that was going to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
The most incredible thing about Bobby Bowden was until the very last few years when he was an active head coach, he had a listed phone number because he always said, no matter what time it was or what the situation was, I want my guys to be able to get a hold of me. And this was before cell phones, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So if a player was in a jam or had a situation that he needed help with, they could get the phone book out or call directory assistance and get Coach Bowden's number.
Yeah.
And for that matter, anybody else could too.
Yeah.
So if you ever wanted to get a hold of Bobby Bowden, you'd call directory assistance in Tallahassee, Florida, and they'd give you his phone number, and you ring up his house, and his wife would answer.
Wow.
And every single time, his wife would answer the phone, and if he was there, she'd hand him the phone, and you were talking to Bobby Bowden.
Yeah. Hoppy.
Or she'd take a message and
He'd
say,
return a call.
Yeah.
I think Hoppy talked about that, and I listen to Hoppy. I like when he goes on a rant at the end of the show. I love it. I just love to hear the rant. But he talked about, somebody either wrote a letter or called Bobby. I think they called him and said, would you sign some books? And he says, yeah, leave them on the porch, and I'll sign them in a couple of days. You can get them back. I mean, you just don't see that happening today. You don't see. Can you imagine who's the turkey at Alabama? Nick Saban. Can you imagine trying to get a hold of Nick Saban? Can you? Well, yeah, I'll talk to you for $20,000 or whatever, or anybody today, But I put Bobby up there with Lou Holtz, who's he's a West Virginia guy, isn't he?
Well, yeah, Lou Holtz was born up there in the Northern Panhandle.
Yeah.
Now,
He was a funny guy.
Spent a lot of time there.
He was a funny guy. Hey, Mickey, God bless him. He's been away from us for how long?
Oh, it's been a while. It's been about 8 years.
Yeah, he really didn't like me because I covered Pitt, and he didn't like Pitt at all, and he'd tell you to his face, your face. But I got a phone call before a Pitt-West Virginia game, and I think it was Eddie Kimball. He was assistant or whatever, and he said, you're coming to the game Saturday. And I goes, yeah. He says, we need you. I said, you need me for what? You're going to do the PA for the game. I goes, why? You have a good guy. Well, the guy they had, I don't know if it was an interception or a fumble, but he described the play, then he goes E-I-E-I-O or something, which was a no-no because he was making fun of, it was a West Virginia license plate. He went W-V-U-E-I-E-I-O. Not a smart move. So he got suspended for 2 games. Well, they asked me to do the PA. But at that game, I remember at halftime, Mickey came over and he says, nice job, young man. And I'm thinking to myself, he just complimented me. All right? But yeah, W-V-U-E-I-E-I-O. Very stupid thing for a PA announcer to do because, you're just a messenger. You didn't have to say that.
Well, that plus the fact that it wasn't funny.
No. I think some West Virginia, I think the AD at that time, was it what's his name? Ed somebody?
Ed Pastelon?
Yeah, I saw him I wanted to buy him a beer. I saw him at River City. He's sitting there, and I'm wearing my Pitt hat, and he said, did you play or anything? I goes, no, I did a news service for them. And he said, if you need anything about the history of West Virginia, call me. And that's his name. He was on there. I haven't called him yet. Maybe I'm saving him for something special, but I bet he could tell some stories.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash driven.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. Hit the wrong button.
She don't like West Virginia either.
That's not true.
Shall I tell him what shirt you're wearing? Stand up, Lola. Are you ready for this, Kyle? Only Lola could do this. Cheers, beers, and ears.
It's mountaineers. It's got mountains and then ears.
Oh, that's a mountain?
I told you that.
What'd you do, make that shirt?
No.
Okay, all right. On Friday, Football Fridays, which is a big thing here with all the coaches we have and you and the guy from Ohio State, Hellwagon, I'm wearing either a Pitt hat and the other compliment, the hat will be a WVU shirt. Or I'll leave it up to you to make the decision, Kyle. WVU cap and a Pitt shirt. Which one?
That sounds schizophrenic.
Kyle, I'm so glad you recognize all the, first symptoms here.
Yeah, okay. Well, I get a lot of flack about Pitt, and if I wear that WVU around the Pitt campus because I go there to do some interviews with the coach who I don't really like, I'm going to get some flack. So 20 years ago, I would say something. Now, I'm just too old to say, what are you talking? What do you think? The WVU hat would always be on Facebook, though, What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, keep it.
Yeah, I'll do it in tribute to you. Then the Ohio State, do we carry Ohio State too, Lola? We carry some of their games. I'll have to wear a headband, Ohio State or something. I got to make them all happy. Buckeye fans are crazy. Mountaineer fans are the craziest. Pitt fans, all 6 of them, they think they know the game. All right, Cal, I got to find that. If I find it, I'm just going to put it in a cassette player because I still have 2 brand new Sony ones, and put it up to the microphone and listen to it and put it on the air. But, you know, me and you can always get together and I can play it for you over the phone. He was one funny guy. I think I interviewed him 2 or 3 times, and he had me laughing. He was one of the better storytellers around, you know?
I agree with all that.
You know, he was Mr. West Virginia. He was Mr. Cool, you know? And today, I think today he would still be Mr. Cool. Although these coaches, you know, some of them are not media friendly. And, you know, who are the class acts today? I don't know. Are there any Bobby Bowdens around there?
Well, Neil Brown's a class act.
Yeah, but is he a funny guy?
I don't know. I'm not. That's a tough one. Comedy's hard, right?
Yeah, yeah. By the way, I left a message for the AD. And I don't think she's media friendly, but that's okay. Plus, she fired a lot of my friends when she took over the job, and I remember that all the time. And I texted her and I said, please, you got to get West Virginia. You got to say something at a meeting to get West Virginia to join in the ACC. She has yet to respond. But a couple of my friends who have interviewed her thinks it would be a great idea, but the decision's not going to be made by her. So you know how that story goes. But I'll keep preaching to the crowd, preaching. We got to get West Virginia in the ACC. Then it'll be a great conference, not only in basketball, football, but with Miami there and West Virginia there, you got 2 great baseball teams. Am I correct, Kyle?
Yeah, more than 2. I mean, the ACC is a great league. Virginia's good. North Carolina State got to the College World Series this year.
Yeah, and I think your guy beat my Red Sox the other day. He plays for the Toronto Blue Jays, the pitcher.
No.
What was his name?
Alek Manoah.
Yeah, Manoah. Okay. Sounds like he's a good kid. You know, wish he gets traded to Boston. Whatever. Well, go Yankees. I'm hoping for a rainout so I can say tomorrow morning the Pirates didn't lose last night. But what are your Cardinals? They're 1 game under 500?
Yeah, this hasn't been a good year.
No. But Molina's going to play till he's what, 50?
Hopefully.
Yeah. And you know he got on the All-Star game because of his name. He's having a lousy year and he's an All-Star?
Well, he's not having a lousy year.
Well,
he's actually having a pretty good offensive year. I mean, he deserved that.
Can I just argue with you because you're a Cardinals fan? Can I just argue with you, Kyle?
Sure.
Okay. Should I agree with Bob Huggins when he does a commercial for, what's their name, Lola?
Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
He talks about the Coliseum as the loudest indoor venue in basketball.
That's for COVID vaccines, he does that.
Oh, but I won't agree with him. It's the loudest venue I've ever been in. You know, you go there, if you're the opposing team, if the guy with the musket doesn't drive you crazy, the fans do. See, I said a positive thing about WVU. You like that, Kyle?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Bobby Bowden interview. I marked it down. What else am I supposed to do? Wasn't I supposed to get you something?
Who, me?
Yeah, I got cards. I got your book stashed away that I owe you from 2 years ago. We're going to meet in Morgantown. You're going to take me out to a light dinner, and I'm going to give you all this stuff.
Okay.
How's that sound?
I name it.
I might even have a Bob Gibson card from 1970 I'll give you.
That'd be great.
The greatest right-hander of all time. Well, he's up there with Don Drysdale. But if it's the 7th game of the World Series, I take Gibson. You agree?
I totally agree.
All right, we agree on something. Hey, thank you for sharing some great moments about WVU sports and, of course, the great one, Bobby Bowden. As long as I'm alive, his spirit will be inside because I had some great moments with him. He was a great guy away from the football field. Thank you, Cal. And I guess you're going on vacation. You're not going to St. Louis, are you?
Actually, yes.
Why did I know that? Have a good trip, man.
Okay.
All right. Kyle Wiggs, he loves those Cardinals. Now, Lola likes her Tigers and her Lions, and I like all teams.
Well, Kyle is from Kansas City, isn't he? Or thereabouts?
I think he's from Missouri, yeah.
All right, so, again, you can take them out of the state, but you can't take the state out of them.
Yeah, okay. Been in that rail, laid flat on that glass, thought I was going to pass out looking down. Oh, that's a great scene, though. You can see that for miles and miles and miles and miles. Half of the Golden Arches And what if they got that idea at McDonald's? I don't know. We'll be right back with one of my favorites. And I saw Jay Caulfield coming at me, I'd jump over the boards because he would hit me and knock me out. He would do that now, but he's a very good radio and TV analyst, and we're going to talk about the great one, Mike Lang, right after this message.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. Monroe County authorities say one woman is dead and two more were injured in the crash of an off-road vehicle Monday evening. According to Monroe County Sheriff Jeff Jones, the women were in a machine riding a trail atop Peters Mountain and had started to descend off the mountain when they heard a pop and their brakes failed.
They had no brakes at all. Went off the trail and hit a tree.
One woman was killed instantly. The second was flown to a Roanoke, Virginia hospital where she's in critical condition today. A third woman jumped out of the machine before impact and suffered a leg injury. The names of those victims have not been released. A lack of rainfall starting to impact the summer boating season. At Tigert Lake, boat owners who rent slips at the lake's marina have been told they've got to get their boats out of the water by next week.
The water's dropping 6 inches a day, so, really, 2 days that's a foot, and that adds up very quickly up here. And we're at our, we're pretty well at our max limit right now to where we can't lengthen anything out anymore. And if we don't get everything pulled out, literally everything here will be beached.
That is Marina Manager Joey Costner. Summersville Lake having similar issues, although not quite that drastic. Summersville falling about 3 inches a day. State officials continue to push for vaccinations for the COVID-19 virus. Interagency Task Force Director Jim Hoyer.
Our median age now for those infected with the virus is down to 41 years of age.
You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Today's the last day of the Do It for Baby Dog giveaway, COVID-19 vaccination sweepstakes. Governor Jim Justice earlier today gave away a custom pickup truck to a dietitian at the Jackie Withrow Hospital in Beckley. Classes begin later this month at the new Marshall University Bill No Flight School at Yeager Airport in Charleston. Ribbon-cutting ceremony held there earlier today. President Jerome Gilbert expects big things out of the school. There are about 20 students enrolled for the fall semester. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash driven by Jeep on the Watchdog. The Cleveland Indians beat the Cincinnati Reds 9-3, snapping the Reds' 5-game win streak. Joey Votto had an RBI single. Nick Castellanos and Tucker Barnhart also driving in runs, but the Indians scored 8 over the first 4 innings. Luis Castillo took the loss, lasting just 3 1/3 in the start, falling to 6-11. The Cincinnati Bengals will open up their preseason schedule on Saturday. They'll be down in Tampa facing the Buccaneers. The Bengals will play 3 preseason games this season thanks to the new 17-game regular season. The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing the Indianapolis Road Course on Sunday. Kyle Larson leading the series with 5 victories. 3 races remain before the start of the playoffs. This will be the 6th road course race on the calendar. For lightning-fast updates as news happens, download the Score app today. It's free. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on the Watchdog.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstar batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down,
but you don't have to stay that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talkline. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
Oh, Lord Stanley, get me the brandy.
J'ai fait des mal passés, mais moi je peux pas tenir. C'est moi qui t'aime, oh, oh, yeah, yeah. J'ai fait tout le monde, mais moi je peux pas dire. C'est moi qui t'aime, oh, yeah, yeah, ça c'est trop canaille, ça c'est trop canaille. Je peux pas t'aimer, c'est moi qui t'ai mis en oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I had Jay Caulfield on the line. He says, give me a couple of minutes. I got to go to the car, and then I lost him. Can you see that, Lola?
I will walk over and get it, Bill.
Okay. All right. He said, are we going to talk about Mike Lang? And I said, you bet your butt we are. Okay. You know, Jay was a player and then a broadcaster. I don't know if he heard a lot of the great lines from Mike Lang. You know, all of his great lines, his signature calls, his clever phrases, crazy stuff. Because he was Jay was a player for a number of years. Then he was in a TV booth. So who knows? Maybe he had headsets on. as a color analyst, I don't know. If ESPN's looking for a good guy, I would recommend Jay. All right? Because compared to some of the guys that are there now, and I miss Mike Milbury. Yeah, he may be a jerk in that, but he tells it like it is, and I think that got him in trouble. So, it's going to be interesting how ESPN handles the broadcast. So, if they treat it like basketball, you're going to have some funny moments. They're going to do things a little bit different, and anything will help because the National Hockey League, their ratings are not very good. A city like Pittsburgh, which I think has the best ratings number of any city in the National Hockey League, all right? Penguin crazy, man. They like watching and whatever. But there are a lot of other venues, like, in L.A., very few people care about the Kings. That's just the way it is, Of course, in some other cities where they don't have other sports, that's just whatever, all right? But Pittsburgh, boy, their ratings are unbelievable. They put the Pirates to shame. The Steelers, that's another story because they only play once a week, but the Penguins' ratings are just out of this world. AT&T, yeah. No wonder they have a lot of commercials. I would buy advertising for the Penguin games because everybody's watching, It's really expensive to go to the games, but that's okay, I don't mind watching it and all the commercials on 55-inch screens, all right. The Pirates are playing tonight. I hope it's raining in Pittsburgh. Yep. I'll tell you why I hope it's raining in Pittsburgh. Very simple. Look outside. I guess it was pouring down rain not too long ago. But the St. Louis Cardinals are playing the Pirates. The Pirates are 30 games under 500. So I hope the game tonight between the Cardinals and the Pirates get rained out, so tomorrow morning on my sportscast I can say the Pirates didn't lose. Was that nice, Bill? No, well, they get rained out. They didn't lose, right? They got to start winning. Put together a 2-game winning streak or something. They're 3-10 in their last 10 games. They've been outscored by the opponents in those 10 games by 28 runs. Their batting average is my IQ, 229. Do you believe that, Lola?
You're exaggerating there, but okay, here's Jay.
All right. Hey, Jay.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
How you doing, my friend?
Not bad. Yourself?
I just gave you a plug. ESPN should be knocking on your door to do a color analyst for their new hockey lineup. I think you're that good.
Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that.
But I think if they offered you a decent amount of money, you'd stay in Pittsburgh. Am I right, Jay? Come on, you like working with the Penguins.
No, I do. Yep. I mean, I do. I just enjoy doing what I'm doing here, and I would never change that. So as long as I'm able to, they want me to do it, I'll do it.
Boy, I could see you on the set with an old friend of mine, Mike Milbury. I don't think he'll work again. Mike's been in trouble a couple of times. He's got to be careful what he does and say, but I always like
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get around that either. So we'll see what they end up. I don't know what their full lineup is of talent on the Turner side or ESPN, but I'm not sure Mike Milbury will get a look at that.
All right. Well, if you like me and you like all the people that like you, stay in Pittsburgh, will you?
I will, Bill.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, listen, you grew up in Philadelphia? Where'd you grow up?
I was born in North Philly, lived in North Philly, and we moved to the suburbs out to a town called Lansdale, which is about 30 miles north of Philly.
Okay.
North Penn High School. It's about going towards the Poconos, but it's 30 miles out of the city.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I think my kid has a chance to work vacation for the post office. He delivers mail. They made him an unbelievable offer to replace somebody for 2 months who's having surgery in Chambersburg. Is Chambersburg a nice town?
Yeah, it's okay. All cities, all little towns in Pennsylvania all have, they can have their good feel about it, right?
Okay. Now, you grew up in the Philly area, so you're familiar with Gene Hart, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. I like Gene Hart, but I don't think he could wear Mike Lange's left shoe. Am I correct?
No, listen, and I agree. I know what you're saying because I grew up. My brother, when we started to even think about playing hockey, the Flyers were making it big, and Gene Hart and Don Earl were the announcers.
Yep.
And I know how much that meant to us there when we were just starting to watch and listen to the game. And that's how much Mike Lange and what he means in our area, as well as just nationally, is sayings all over the place. But no, you're right. I got used to listening to them, and when you have somebody better than that, like Mike is, it's certainly, he takes it to a different level.
Let's test your memory, right? Mine is disappearing. Just ask Lola. Gene Hart was a spokesperson for what cupcakes?
Tasty cakes.
Oh, man, you're good, Jay. You're good. You're good. I got tired of hearing, the post-game show brought to you by Tasty Cakes. Then I tried Tasty Cakes. They're not the best. I like Hostess Twinkies, to be honest with you, but that's another commentary.
But yeah, because when you come from Philly, you got to be a tasty cake guy when you're from Philly.
Oh, by the way,
I was just going to say, if you did an interview with them, when I was playing, when you went into the city, if you did an interview, you always got a case of tasty cakes.
Yeah. One of my stringers, Ray Fittipaldo, you probably read his Steeler updates in the Post-Gazette. He's covering the Philadelphia game. And we were talking yesterday. I said, can I get you when you come home on Friday? He says, yeah, give me a call. I'll give you an update. I said, make sure you go to Pat's Cheesesteak. Isn't that one of the best cheese places around?
Yeah, Pat's is the one that everybody talks about. There's a number of them, though, in the city. And, there's obviously Tony Luke's is a big one now. But Pat's is the one that they talk about that you'll see in movies and things like that. And the one thing, when you go to order your sandwich, you better know what you want.
Yeah.
Order quick.
Well,
No
yeah, years and years and years ago, I think it was Pitt and Temple, and I traveled with Pitt back then, played in an awful place called Veteran Stadium. I went to Pat's, and I saw all the Hollywood stars' names. Guess who wrote his name under Jay Leno?
Phil DeFabio?
Yeah, but you know what my name was above? The toilet. I never realized that because I brought in a magic marker, one of those, you can't really erase them. Put my name under Jay Leno, then I realized about 3 inches down is the toilet. And I'm there, okay, whatever. So, but I told Ray, you got to go have a cheesesteak, and I did tell him, you better get your order straightened out or else it won't be what you expected.
No, they'll be all over you. You need to know. And I'm a white American cheese guy. I don't like the cheese whiz. I'm a white American cheese guy with my cheesesteak.
I agree with you. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Philadelphia, but I love all those mom and pop restaurants, especially the Italian ones.
Yeah, you know what though? When we used to go into the city and play when it was at the Spectrum, and I can remember with Rick Tockett and Bob Erie. Bob Erie, we made a number of trips. When we would go in and stay at the hotels in the city, we always used to go abroad, and there was this old Italian restaurant that truly was like an outstanding. It was one of those places where you never wanted your back to the door, like you had that feeling because of all the, if you watch The Sopranos, everybody knows what that means. But
yeah.
For the most part, it's just an outstanding food in the city when you go there, the Italian food, we would go. Bob Erie would be in a group. Mario, we all at one time we'd be served, and they took great care of us. And it was a great place to go into because you knew what you were going into when you were playing the Flyers, but you also knew what everything was about, and it was always enjoyable.
Yeah. Great city for food. And I remember on weekends, I used to be on WCAU, which was a 50,000 watt stick. And, they paid me like $100 to speak to the host for like a half hour to give them an update on the Steelers, the Penguins, or whatever. And when I went to meet the general manager, who offered, I'll put you up in a hotel. I said, well, I'll probably be there with the Steelers. And he said, we'll take you to a class restaurant. And on the outside, it looked like a hole in a wall. But on the inside, it was packed. It was mom and pop, and the food was delicious. And even though he picked up the tab, it was really good stuff, That's like if you go to Rome. If you go to Rome, the hotel guy will tell you, this is a 5-star restaurant. Well, he gets paid under the table to tell you that, and it's usually not a 5-star restaurant, but maybe a 6-figure dinner bill. You go close to the Colosseum. Matter of fact, if you go to Rome, look for the Pittsburgh Steeler Bar. It's unique. Next to the Pittsburgh Steeler Bar, if you're coming out of the bar, you make a right. There's like 3 or 4 mom-and-pop Italian restaurants. And as soon as you sit down, they bring you a glass of wine. They bring you an appetizer. And you don't have to pay for it. You just pay for your meal, and the food's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, Bill. I get it.
All right, let's talk about Mike Lang. You and I have something. Well, you remember Bob Prince at all?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we had Bob Prince. He was a character for baseball. The great Myron Cope for football. And now Mike Lang, the icon for hockey. I don't think any of the three will ever be replaced.
Well, I don't think so either. And I do remember, not to go off on I remember my first year here, and we had a practice, and it was a Steeler game, so it was the first time we had early practice on Sunday so we all could get to, everyone to go to Steeler game, and we go on our way over to the Steeler game. I believe it was with Paul Coffey. It was one because Paul Coffey and Jim Johnson at the time, a defenseman. And I remember hearing, it's the first time I ever heard Myron Cope's voice when we were going over to get to the game.
Yeah, Jay.
I never. So to your point, no, I don't think they can be. I mean, they're all different styles, but amazing what they meant to the city, and, and just the uniqueness of it all. And it was something. But I always remember that my first year here, in that October. It was later because it was October, and we had an early practice, able to go to a game, and I heard Myron Cope's voice, and I knew what that was all about when I heard people mention it, and then I get a taste of it. So then Mike Lang, for being part all my career, my career here, he was certainly. I was blessed to have him be, as we all were, blessed to have him be our guy that called all the games and brought excitement to it.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a terrible towel, by the way?
I do. I have one next to me. Listen, when I watch football, I got a terrible towel, but I also have the ones that the Penguins gave out in the playoffs, and they're my go-to. I got to have them out there when I'm watching Steelers games on Sunday. If I'm not at the game, I need to have it. It's crazy, but that's what I need. That's my good. I got that going. So I'm not sure Pittsburgh thing, but I love that. I do find it something unique. Something makes you feel like you're loyal, and that's what I like.
And Myron, the Steelers were the first team to have something like that. Well, Miami had handkerchiefs, but that doesn't compare to a towel. Now everybody's got a special towel. You know what I mean? But Myron's made a lot of money for his favorite charity, millions and millions and millions of dollars, and people are still buying the towels, and that's how we remember Myron. Mike Lang, I have his bobblehead where he has all of his clever phrases on it. I got to put a battery in it, by the way. But that's clever too. Bob Prince too. The green weenie and all that stuff. Those are two. I don't think I'll ever get rid of those two bobbleheads. But, we have about 4 or 5 phrases from Mike Lang. We're going to remind you, and you're going to be smiling. We're going to save the last one that involves a rock and roll singer, and I think you know what it is. But, Lola, let's play the 4 before that famous rock and roll singer. Go ahead.
Eddie Spaghetti. Oh, scratch my back with a hacksaw. Oh, Carl Arnold Slick from Turtle Creek. Oh, Lord Stanley.
Pretty good stuff, huh, Jay?
Yeah, that is. The third one, though, for me, when he says, Arnold Slick from Turtle Creek, I don't know, because there's a great guy I knew from Turtle Creek, and the way Mike Lang says, there's a guy named Dale Rossetti, ran all the hockey rinks and Blade Runners and all that kind of stuff, goes way back, and he helped us get practice sites. And so every time I heard that one, it reminded me of, I thought that was a great one. I just liked it, and they all are great. They all have meaning and impact.
All right, well, I've tested your memory. You're 2 for 2. You want to try for 3 for 3? Turtle Creek is a famous town for what famous group?
No, you got me there. But I want to say, there's so many. It's amazing the musicians that come here, but I don't know.
All right, 5 O'Clock World. You're the one.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't come up with the name. I know you should give it to me.
The Vogues.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, 2 for 3.
Oh yeah. Well, that's okay. In baseball, you'd be starting for the Pirates.
That's true. I'd have a good side.
That's not. You know what? You should be in a Pirate uniform and start running out of the dugout and start fights with the other team. Maybe that would change the tempo.
But you had to get me in but I wasn't sure. I didn't know you were going to come at me with a music, a music group right now. That was a tough one. I had to put a different thinking cap on for that. You had me going down memory lane other ways.
Okay, all right, but they had some great hits. 5 O'Clock World, You're the One. I mean, yeah. And there's like 4 Vogues groups. The original Vogues can't play outside of Pennsylvania because somebody has their name. They bought the copyright. How about that?
Oh, yeah, that's wild.
All right. Oh, I'll tell you about my trip with. Which one was he? Who was the Penguin that they got? Who was the guy they got from Montreal? Mahovlich. Which one was it? Pete.
Oh, that's Pete. That was Pete Mahovlich.
Okay, I went on a road trip with the Penguins. Penguins picked up my tabs. I don't know why. Maybe they felt sorry for me working for a lot of small stations. So Mike Lang and Pete said, "You want to go out to dinner with us?" And I goes, "Yeah." Oh, they go to a fancy restaurant. Well, that was the first time. In college, I tried jumbo shrimp, and I tasted lobster, although I couldn't afford it in Boston. They treated me to the biggest lobster I think I ever ate. I don't know, it seemed like 5 pounds. And Mike Lang yelled at me because I was going to pick up the tab. You know, I know these guys got money, they have per diems, and he yelled at me, and I said, gee, I'm sorry, Mike, I just wanted to be, part of the group. He says, you are part of the group. You're with two of the guys that has a lot of fun. And then we went out and got some alcoholic beverages. But Pete Mahovlich was funnier. I mean, I don't know how Frank was. Frank played with Montreal too, didn't he?
Yeah, he was Pete Mahovlich was one of my coaches in the minors when I first started.
Yeah.
He was coaching in Toledo, and he was. I liked Pete Mahovlich. He was a great guy for me, but I think he was probably the more outgoing of. I don't know Frank, but I think he seems quieter than what Pete would be.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. Did he come over in the trade with Peter Lee, which was a bad trade?
That was before. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know when that took place, but I know it was in those blue uniforms. Remember the next wave of blue ones. It was different. So.
Yeah, I think he was like a third stringer with Montreal. When somebody said, the Penguins got Peter Lee from the Montreal Canadiens, I thought Peter Lee had a laundry shop. And he wasn't good. He wasn't good. That was a bad trade back then. And then they got that forward from the Bruins that I thought would score 25 or 30 goals. I forget his name. Oh, I see his face.
There's a lot of players that came through here towards the end of their. A lot of Flyers came here. There was a lot of Flyers that came over here after the success in Philly. Whereas Rosberg, Rick McLeish, right? Get down the line.
Yeah, they got an old Dave Schultz. I could have probably kicked his butt back then. Well,
they got him after their run. They got him after their success in Philly.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys that were, I'm getting old. I'll go play for the Penguins. I could start. Although, who was my favorite Penguin at one time? Dunk Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
You remember him?
Yep. Yeah, I know the name. I don't know him, but I know of him.
Yeah, he was funny, and I tell you what, I got to know EJ in Boston, and EJ became the head coach, and we used to have some fun, and the general manager, and I had a lunch with him a couple of months ago. He might be 90 or 190. He hasn't lost anything from the neck up. He is still snapping and snapping. He goes, I remember when you drank the cup at 72 in New York. I said, yeah, but you didn't ask me to drink the cup from the cup. Wayne Cashman did. He goes, well, he was like the leader in the locker room. The Chief, Johnny Busick, Cheesy Cheevers, those guys were cool, crazy. And I always, from that point on, I think hockey players, and I'm not saying because you're here, Jay, they're the greatest guys in the world. They're media friendly. They don't talk about other salaries, and they would play the game for free. Well, not for free, a case of beer and a blonde. Am I right?
There you go.
All right.
No, I believe that.
Yeah. And, there's so many Jay Caulfields out there. I know if I was on the ice and I had the puck, you'd knock me into seventh heaven, but away from the ice, you probably was, well, I know you're a good guy. Hey, listen, we're going to close this out with this tribute to Mike Lang. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You know where this is coming from, don't you?
I think I do.
Hit it, Lola. Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Mike Lang has just left the building, and guess what? You're leaving this broadcast. I thank you for your time.
You're welcome. See you, Lola. Bye, Bill. Thank you very much.
All right. Oh, man, I'm getting old. Yeah?
I know you're reminiscing with him, but I really want to sit down.
And have a beer with him?
Well, of course, have beer, but and really talk hockey.
Oh.
Not just Penguins hockey. I'm talking about hockey.
He would do that.
And,
His illustrator is unbelievable what he does with that thing.
Well, that's what I mean. He is so knowledgeable.
Oh.
And I have so many questions that, believe me, if I had been able to get him on the phone during a break, I would have been pumping him already.
I know.
So
I'll remember that.
I really would like to.
He's a tremendous guy. Very knowledgeable about the. When I heard he was going to be.
He's sweet. He says, goodbye, Lola.
Yeah, goodbye, Lola. Okay. He is a kind man. But if he was Mario's bouncer, and if you touched Mario, you know who would climb over the boards. All right? He was one badass. I'm glad I'm his friend. I'll try and arrange something, Lola. A phoner would be fine, right? All right.
Yeah, but where does he live?
Upper St. Clair.
Well,
I'll probably be talking to him soon. I'll mention this.
all right.
And he'll say, we'll work on it. And then he'll do it.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, out of everybody that,
Yep.
okay, we got to
It can be done.
We got to go.
All right, I got to go. I'm going to go out and get wet. Hey, hopefully I'll see you Thursday. Same time, same place. The Watchdog, 12 to 3. DeFabio, Lola, and
The
you.
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX, Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville.